Get it, Ferrari. Love it.
We will see. I think we are live. Just going to double check before I start talking, because that's the worst thing you can do is when you start talking, no one can actually hear you. So I'm just going to double check. You normally have the stream running, don't you, as well, just to let me know if any issues. It should be okay.
I'm just trying to get it.
I can hear myself, so we are okay. We are live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this Hedge Racing League Season 5 race. We are here for round number 5. And it is only the second time in the history of this league that we visited China for the Chinese Grand Prix. It's a rarity on the Hedge Racing League calendar, but we are back for its second visit, the first visit since Season 2. It's been a while since we were in China. But we are here, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-commentator, Mr. Matt Rowney.
Good evening, Edge.
Good evening. How are we?
Good. Would have been better if the weather forecast wasn't fully dry.
But I know.
You know, it's not Tier 4 in the CRL, is it? Where we get wet races every week, so yeah.
Can't always get what you want, but we have been told by the drivers that it is a dry night here for round number 5 of Season 5 in China. Of course, we'll do a bit of education and whatnot and a bit of background on China as we progress through qualifying. But let's just touch on last week very quickly. Of course, I wasn't here last week, so first of all, a massive thank you to Matt and to Mr. Fandango for their commentary. I know that you also had a few issues with the weather last week. The storm definitely played its part in hedge racing, but we did get a race in Portugal. We'll go through all the results from Portugal and what that means for the standings as we progress through qualifying. But I wanted to say thank you to yourself, Matt, and to Fandango for doing a very good job covering last week. It was a sprint race as well, so it was a shame, wasn't it? The weather had to interfere a little bit.
Yeah, I missed the sprint race, unfortunately, but it was a Giron dominance. That's the only way of summing up that entire weekend. Even when it looked like Lawler had done him with a strategy in the race, waiting until I think it was the second out of the 3 safety cars we had.
Yeah.
Giron still found a way to come back and overtake Jay Lawler, I think on the penultimate lap, to win another race. He is untouchable at the moment. So the question is, who can stop Giron? If anyone can stop. Good evening to everybody in the chat. There's a lot of love from Danielle for Mark. Danielle loves it every Sunday. She's here every Sunday, week in, week out. I love that. If anyone else is in the chat, I believe that Mrs. Edge is joining. Maybe she's here or not. I'm not. If anyone else is, it's 4 people watching. Only 1 person said hello so far. So whoever the other 3 are, you're very ignorant. But no, make sure you say hello to us as the first laps are going in. It's both Alpine. One of the Alpines is off the track though, Matt. Looks like little one. I'll say what, little one. I was watching his lap and he was getting a slipstream from a Mercedes and he left it until the last second to move out the way. I thought he was going to drive right in the back of him. But no, he's getting every little tiny bit of slipstream. Love that.
Oh, good evening to Murphy. Murphy's here. Is it the Murphy?
Oh,
it's going to be the Murphy, surely. Surely.
The only.
Tell you what, he's not normally here. Oh, Mrs. Edge is here. Good evening to Mrs. Edge. So we've got Danielle, we've got Mrs. Edge, we've got Murphy. There's still 3 or 4 people that aren't letting us know who they are. So, say hello. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. And good evening to you all. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening. To be fair, where else do you be on a Sunday night? I'm not being funny. This is the only place to be on a Sunday night,
exactly.
isn't it?
No, you're not going to be watching Dancing on Ice, are you? Let's be honest.
Oh, no, shambles. It is, he has confirmed it is the Murphy. There is only one, isn't there?
There is only one.
There is only one.
Of course there is.
There is only one. But it's good to see Murphy. Well, not see him. I can't see him. It's good to hear him. I can't even hear him either. What am I on about? Good to see his comments, shall we say. It's good to see that he's here. Listen to the boys. I'm all over the show already. You're only in Q1. But it's good to be back after missing last week. We'll go through. Oh, and Jay Wills has had a spinneroonie there. He's currently 5th. Where's the Hedge Racing League merch? It's possibly something we can look into, that. Again, I'm not very technical in all that sort of stuff, but maybe Hedge Racing League merch could be something that we could... I've been told the stream's crashing, by the way. Can someone confirm that this is the case? I hope it's not.
It looks fine on my end, mate.
Mrs. Edge is telling me it's crashing, so Mrs. Edge, I think it's your Wi-Fi, Mrs. Edge, not my stream. But you're wrong. But no, Hedge Racing League merch.
You're a brave man telling Mrs. Edge she's wrong. Never tell a woman she's wrong.
Matt, I'm back. I'm taking your word for it here, mate. You told me that it's alright, so...
Yeah, it's fine from my end.
If it does, as Matt has mentioned in the past, if it does sort of pixelate or the quality drops a little bit, you can change the what's the word I'm looking for, the quality of the stream
I believe. I think.
Yeah,
3 buttons you can press.
sometimes it's down to your own
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. It has there's a few minutes. It looks like it's lagged a little bit, but not too bad at the minute. But that could just be me.
Apologies.
I don't mind anyway.
I never understand why it does it, because my connection's fine. There's no issues. I do connection issues before every stream. I have absolutely no reason why it does. Again, maybe from next week we can look at alternative things, but fingers crossed it sort of corrects itself. But we are a good chunk of the way into Q1 now. A lot of the drivers I put laps in. A couple on the mediums, J Lawler, J Luke, and Mazzles. Owen, as always though, most of the time is at the top. The only driver currently setting a lap in the 31s. A little bit quicker than Bailey, who set the 53s. Bailey is the only reserve driver tonight. He's in the he's in the Red Bull, sorry, placing free fall. Other than that, the other 19 drivers are full time. 10 minutes to go in Q1. Who's caught your eye, Matt?
Well, I'm a little bit biased, but my good friend Pio's put a stonking lap in there. I know he'll be absolutely delighted with that. 32.8.
Love that.
I don't know if he's made it into Q2 yet in Hedge Racing. He might have made it into Q2 once, but I know he did say to me he really would like to get into Q2 and Q3. So I mean, he'd be happy with that. So that's a good lap. You'd expect DC.
He's in the mix. He's in the mix, isn't he? In the mix.
And Lawler, yeah, he is, yeah.
Got to have a bit of a nosebleed there, Pio, in that top 4. I love it though. I absolutely.
Yeah. Jack Pretty, I think we'd expect a bit better from old Jack Pretty though. He's only down in P12. We saw some good stuff from Jack Pretty, so.
It's still. I'm just watching Bailey going down a very long straight in sector 3 towards the end of his lap. I'm looking at the big stand behind Bailiff and there's not one fan in it. Now I've worked the Etihad, or there's still COVID restrictions in China. I'm not too sure which one it is, but that stand seems empty. There's not many people on the grass yet. Where's everyone? Big country China, and all you expect it to be full, wouldn't you? It's got to be COVID, hasn't it? It's got to be COVID.
It's like the empty ad, isn't it?
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. I thought I'd get it in, dig myself so no one else can, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Give no one else the credit.
And Bailiff's lap, the only reserve driver tonight, is 12, which at the moment is enough to get him into Q2, but will it be enough by the end of Q1? We will see. Still a few people, including Mr. Viper's Ken, who's yet to set up. He's just going on a lap now, actually. I have been told that he suffered a concussion this week playing football, so get well soon, Ken. I thank you for still joining us, mate, for racing. And we'll see if should he be driving with a concussion? I'm not too sure if that's part of the regulations or not. Health and safety and all that, but in fairness, if Hobbsy can drive with no helmet, then...
Yeah, that was my point, yeah. I mean, if Hobbsy's driving with no helmet, that's inexcusable, isn't it? Let's be honest. So, let's hope Viper's Ken's got his helmet on. I think he has.
Has Hobbsy got his helmet on? He's in the pit, so I can't check. He's not set lap yet, Hobbsy, and he hasn't been validated, so not the greatest start to Q1 for Hobbsy. Viper's Ken has just set a purple sector, and he'll be hoping that in the Haas he has no problems. And the Haas has still got the Russian branding on it, which we won't get too much into that tonight, but...
No, let's not.
I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll try and move on. Let's not really touch on war issues. No. Russia is not on the calendar this year though, so we're alright. We're not going there. So don't worry. As your Owen, I think Nathan just crossed the line to go second fast, I believe it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The quickest off the soft. Wait, Jerome's time was Jerome's time on mediums?
I believe it was on soft. He might have just strapped on the
changed.
mediums.
Okay.
To give them a run out.
That makes sense.
To feel.
Let's see where Ken can go then. Our back-to-back champion, Season 3 and Season 4 champion. He rounds the last corner, and he's going to put the Haas car, into second. That and Viper's Ken battle continues in Q1, and that's him done and dusted. Who's on the brink at the moment? Well, Jack Priddy, who, as a reserve driver, Matt, set some very good pace. He's not quite worked out since taking the full-time Alpine seat. Aston Martin always in my mind, you see. Always in my mind.
Of course it is.
He's currently down in 17th, and he's not set a great lap, so at the moment he's at risk of dropping out in Q1, which, to be fair, Jack Priddy out in Q1 would be a bit of a surprise. Now, I do wonder how much practice these drivers have had around China, because it's not really known as a popular track on this game. It's not a track you usually see on calendars either, due to it not being a track in real life anymore. So I do wonder, how much practice these have put in. And it is quite a technical circuit as well. It's not a track that I particularly like. I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm not
a massive fan of racing around China.
No, I don't like China at all. My first competitive race was the CRL pre-season race around China.
I missed that.
I don't know if it was because it was my first on the wheel, but I mean, even on pad, I just don't like the track. I don't know what it is. There's nothing I ever, you know, some tracks you think, well, Monza, Theatre of Speed, Spa, you know, the Eau Rouge and Silverstone has, you know, there's nothing about China, or there isn't a corner or a race or an incident that I've ever seen that makes me sort of look back to it and think, that's a good track. I like China, you know, Jack Pretty almost did a Lewis Hamilton talk to China. Actually, there's the one memorable thing about China, when Hamilton lost his title by going into the gravel trap. It's not there anymore, but almost did a Lewis Hamilton and binned himself out in the pit lane.
I was going to say, I mean, Jack Pretty now in the pits, and I think that's possibly his qualifying. I don't actually have a time board on my screen due to a yellow flag in sector 3, so I'm pretty sure that he's not going to have enough time to come back out, and that could be Jack Pretty out in Q1, which it's still 5 minutes actually, so I think it's probably time for him to get out. Was it China where Sebastian Vettel overtook in the pits in a race? Do you remember that?
Maybe.
I swear it was China. He overtook two cars in the pits. I just briefly remember it. I swear it was China.
It might say a lot that the two most memorable things that have happened around China happened in the pit lane. But
I swear it was China. I might be wrong with that. I don't know, but it rings a bell. Even to Faddy in the chat. Again, can someone let me know if the stream's okay? I've been told by quite a few people that it's not great, but we'll have to try and roll with it. I don't know why. I have no idea. There's no reason for it to not work. Maybe we have to try Twitch or something. I don't know. We'll work something out, but hopefully it's okay for tonight. KXI on a lap. Now, KXI, if you remember back in Britain, Matt, he got lapped at the start, but you know what? He kept going, didn't he? He didn't give up. He has made that transition to wheel, which I know myself recently. It's a big jump. As do you, Matt, you know how big of a jump it is. And he has scored points this season, KXI. Of course, he was a constructor champion. They dominated in the Williams last year, him and Vipers Ken. Of course, made the transition to wheel. Of course, finding it a little bit difficult to grasp, but when he gets going, KXI, I know that he's a previous race winner in Cone as well, and a race winner in this league, a champion in this league in the past in terms of constructors. He's more than capable. Can he get himself? He's just on the board at the moment. He is through, technically speaking, but he's definitely at risk of being out in Q1. But can he join his teammate Pio? I think Pio looks a dead cert for Q2 here.
Yeah, he's done really well. I mean, I was going to say, as always, Bowie, as always, leaves himself for one lap, like what he likes to do.
Love
Bowie.
that.
He hasn't settled at the time yet. And I don't know who the other one was, but
he's KXI was 11. That could be enough.
Yeah, he seems to be improving on the wheel. KXI, I think in Corn as well. He seems to be climbing from. I don't know if he dropped tier 3 or tier 2.
Yes, tier 2.
Yeah, he's climbing that tier, I think. It seems to be improving.
Well, he's gone from being a tier 4 driver, a tier 3 driver, and you come from tier 4 to tier 2 in just over a season, so he's doing something right.
Well, yeah. Shows he's a quick learner. Interesting how Bowie
I was going to say,
always leaves himself one lap
I was
at the very end, doesn't he?
Well, not just him, but his teammate Jay Luke at risk as well in 14th, so are McLaren at a potential risk of maybe knocking one of each other out here? Could Bowie knock out Jay Luke? I mean, who knows? But they're both certainly at risk. Jay Luke's still in the pits as well, and he's running out of time to get back out. However, there's a McLaren just coming out, I can see now on my map. So he's going to come out, Jay Luke, but certainly, Matt, both McLarens at risk here, as are both Red Bulls, the reserve of Bailiff and the full-time driver of AJ. And when you throw Mazzles in there, who's normally quite quick in qualifying himself, it's going to be a tasty battle to the end here. You know, even Jay Wills, Mark Wilson, KXI, maybe even PO's not safe yet, Matt, who knows? There's still time for a lot of drivers to improve here.
I think anybody in the 133s could drop out, actually. All it takes is an
Mark's
improvement by 2 or 3 drivers. And
I think Mark may be done with here. Oh, he's going again. He has just done a lap, but he didn't work out. He's going again, though, so don't rule out the Mercedes of Mark Wilson just yet.
Here comes Bowie. Bowie's coming towards the hairpin. He's missed the apex. He's missed the
that
apex.
Could cost him.
A bit wide.
I think that will cost him.
How was the rest of his lap? Let's have a look then. Final corner. Very easy to invalidate on the final corner if you run a little bit wide. Just keeps it. Couldn't have done that much more accurately. And
he's a lucky boy there, Bowie. And he does drop his teammate down. He drops his teammate down as well.
Jack Pretty's 5 tenths up here.
Oh, Mazel's P8.
Oh, so he drops J. Luke down. KXI's retired. Where will Jack Pretty go? Will he put the Alpine into Q2? He'll go 30. It's a pretty good attempt, but is it enough?
Oh, no.
Is it enough? Mark Wilson now at risk as well. He's on a lap after screwing up his first one. J. Woolsey's 7 tenths up here now. J. Woolsey's very good in qualifying usually, but tonight, clearly having some issues. And again, looks a little bit squirmy there through sector 2. I think J. Woolsey could be in trouble here, potentially. J. Luke crosses the line. Was that a lap? I think it was a lap.
I think.
Oh, has he just started a lap now?
He's just started.
He'll be starting motor, of course he will. Yeah. He's just come out of
45 seconds, and AJ, another one who's just about to get his final lap underway, and he's given himself 1 lap to do it as well. So a bit of pressure on these guys.
So I think next is AFL. Now is AFL going to go again, or is this his lap? He looks like he's going for a lap here. AFL. He's going to go around the last corner, and is he going to invalidate? Now he can go again.
Right.
So he steps off though, AFL.
He's out of fuel. His
Oh
fuel
no! So AFL is out. KXI's also out. He dropped into the bottom 5. So there's 2 confirmed. KXI and AFL are both out. Where's Bailey? Bailey's on the grass. So he. Jack Pretty hanging on here.
Yeah. Jack Pretty's lifted. He's lifted. So he's.
I'll tell you something as well. Matt Wilson's done with. He is currently through Matt Wilson, but he's at risk. He's certainly at risk. Jack Pretty's done as well. So it's down to J. Luke.
J. Luke's 9 tenths up, so he's on track to setting a 1:32.2 at this stage, which will put him up in P5. So all he needs is 1 good final 2 corners. He's nailed the hairpin.
Well, it's out of Matt Wilson and Jack Pretty's hands here. If J. Luke and AJ both improve, then it'll be the Mercedes of Mark and the Alpine of Jack that go out. J. Luke's looking a lot quicker here. And looking like he's going to go through by the skin of his teeth. Yeah, he is.
That's a bit more than the skin of his teeth.
Here comes AJ. He's going to get a bit of a toe down the straight here, potentially. Who's in front of him?
He needs it. He's not even a 10th up.
Pio. He rounds the last corner, AJ. Sorry, not last corner, the second to last corner. At the moment, he's at serious risk here of a double Red Bull elimination in Q1. Will AJ have enough to put his car through? He will, to be fair. And that does drop Matt Wilson and Jack Pretty. There's some big names there out in Q1. And JB Bowie, by the skin of his teeth, does make it through. And I tell you, someone else, Hobbsy, will be relieved because he's not very clear of the drop zone either there. He'll need to improve in Q2. If you look at, obviously I know that a couple of these lads will have set laps early and retired, but if you look at that, the little one, Jay Lawler, Mazzles, Hobbsy,
you said about Pio as well, didn't you? You said it would be close.
Skin of his teeth, Pio, in the end.
400 in that, yeah. A bit of track evolution maybe at the end of the, maybe that teaches drivers to not retire early if the track rub it in.
A very pulsating Q1. We've got 2 Alpha Tauris out and 2 Red Bulls out and an Alpine, so 2 constructors losing both their drivers there, Alpha Tauri and Red Bull, both of their qualies are over. It was Jeroen and J. Luke who took the top 2 there. But Haas looking very strong with Vipers Ken and J. Wills both in the top 5 in Q1. I did mention that J. Wills has got a lot of pace about him in qualifying, and once again he's proving that is true. Should we do a bit of education, Matt, to end Q1?
Oh, I've missed a bit of education. I wasn't educated last week.
Well, this isn't really something that will boost your education, but it's a nice little fact. After their first victory in 2009, the British national anthem was incorrectly played on the podium for Red Bull. Red Bull are of course Austrian, and they played the British national anthem over the. I don't think that'll gone down too well. I seem to remember in Bahrain last year as well, or the year before when Perez won, that the flags got mixed up. So that was a similar sort of scenario. Bailey said he invalidated on the fast lap, so unfortunately Bailey will be starting dead last. But to be fair, it's a pretty chaotic couple of first corners here in China. So starting P20 might not be the worst possible scenario. And do you know what? Let's carry with some more education. What do you reckon? A bit more education.
We can never get enough.
Michael Schumacher's last ever F1 victory was here in China.
Wow, was that 2006?
It was back in 2006. The Chinese Grand Prix was also the venue for the first victory of the Red Bull team and Nico Rosberg. So it's had some emotional moments in China. They've had first victories, last victories, and loving
firsts.
And by the way, a big shout out to Jay Luke, who's changed his nationality to Ukraine tonight. I tell you what, driver of the day for me. That
nice touch.
Driver of the day. That is he the only person who's done it? Shame on the rest of you. Shame on the rest of you. J-Luke driver of the day. Give him the title now. Champion. It's done with. Season's over. End of the stream.
It says Vipers Ken just left the session.
Oh.
Should I chuck an invite quickly into...
If you could, mate, yeah. But do you know what? Joking aside, big shout out to J-Luke there. It's nice touch that, of course, what's been a very difficult, last few days and an ongoing situation. I don't think I need to go into. I think everyone's fully aware of the situation in Ukraine. So do you know what, J-Luke? Nice little touch there.
I rate that.
Just to just to remind us all, we're playing a game here, but it's nice to have that nice little touch and thoughts, of course, for everybody. If anyone is if anyone's got any relations or whatever, I'm not too sure. But thoughts of everybody in Ukraine, of course. What is a very difficult time, and big up J-Luke for doing that. Love that, and Mrs. Edge has put love that. So it's nice that we're all coming together here, and we're all I do think that's a really nice touch from J-Luke there, just to commemorate that. And I think that's quite happy with that. Quite nice to see.
Indeed, it is. So moving into Q2. Question. I mean, again, I believe it's a soft, medium, soft kind of race. We can see that by some of the tyres. A mixed selection so far. A couple of guys seem to be confident that they can get themselves through on the medium tyre. I know you like a P11 hedge. So what would you do in Q2 here around China? Because I don't think you want to be starting P11 going into turn 1. Around this track. What would you say?
It's always like the conundrum, this, isn't it? Obviously, I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% certain what the strategy is around China. I don't know if you do. I'm not 100% familiar. I think, is it a 2-stop?
I think there's a question whether you can do the 2-stop.
It's definitely not a soft medium, is it? I'm pretty certain it's not a soft medium strategy in China. I believe the softs do die fairly quickly, so you can see by quite a lot of the drivers on the grid here that have opted for the mediums. But again, it comes down to that question that we ask every single week, have you got enough pace to get a lap in on the mediums and sit in that top 10 come the end of Q2? It's a big question, and if you're someone who's not expected potentially to get into that top 10, as Pio has a spin on his outlap onto the gravel, he's very lucky to avoid any sort of damage there, but I was on board with him and he just completely touched the curb and lost the car again. He's very fortunate, no damage. But he's not done their mediums any favours there, Mike. See, they're already scuffed now. He's not done their mediums any favours there. On outlap, Pio, come on, son. What are you doing there? What's he doing there?
No damage to his car, but I mean, has he wrecked his tyres? That's the question, isn't it? I think I am corrected, Hedge. I think you are right. I think it's very much like a Bahrain. The 1-stop is rather overpowered if you can pull it off. But if you do start on the soft, you have to go 2-stop. I think if you 1-stop it, it's easy to get to the end. 2-stop it, you've got to get through traffic, I think. So that's why a lot of guys, I think, are trying to do the mediums. But I mean, if they can't do it on the mediums, we could see some shock eliminations, or we could see some guys forced onto a 2-stop strategy.
And is it me, or has it got a little bit dull all of a sudden? I'm not saying it's going to rain, but it seems to have got very dull, in comparison to Q1 especially. Maybe that's just my eyes, but it certainly looks more dull, doesn't it?
It does, but I think we'd take the driver's word for it that it rains. I'd love to be wrong, but I'd love for it to just the sky to open up. But we'll see. It does look dark though. You're right.
No, I'm going to stay on board with POA and just watch his lap. I'm curious to see if he's done any damage to their medium tyres. Like, look okay. I don't think I've done too much damage to him. Luckily for him, he avoided any contact with the wall, because that would have been a disaster on an outlap to lose the car. We'll go through the championship standings, of course, and the results from last week throughout Q2 and into Q3. But let's just enjoy a lap of China, of course. And it's a track that, like I say, you don't see too often anymore on the game. You don't necessarily see it in a lot of calendars. I don't certainly see. I don't think I've raced on China in a long time. I know, like you said, the Cone pre-season race was held there this year, but in terms of on the full calendar, we've done over. I'd say we did the 50th anniversary Grand Prix last year. I'd say we've done over 70 races in this league, and China's only featured twice, so it's certainly not a track you see too often. And does that play a part tonight? Because you race in Austria and you race in Belgium and Italy. These tracks are familiar to everybody, whereas China's not really familiar. Do you think that'll play a part, or am I just overthinking it a little bit?
I think it could. I think it's a track that a lot of people, when they jump in 5-lap races, when you
don't do it, do you?
Races together on it. Yeah, I don't think it's a track many people pick. So I think
I
a
agree.
lack of preparation could catch a couple of drivers out. Could be a track they take for granted. Maybe. It'd be interesting to see.
Here comes Pio on his medium lap. He crosses the line and goes 6th. Now, I'm already seeing that, the top 4 on soft, so that medium strategy already looking a little bit more difficult. However, Jerome does go 2nd. If anyone can get from the mediums, it is him.
Bowie, the little one and Bowie were both off in the same corner.
No contact, though.
I'm not too sure if one distracted the other. Little one and Bowie are both
Ooh.
on in laps.
I mentioned the medium strategy not working, Matt. Obviously gone 2nd, that's 2. And so's DC into the top 5, so maybe it is working.
Well, it's a case of can you make it work?
It's a risk.
I'm sure if
it is a risk.
Viper's Ken, he's currently got the medium selected. J. Luke's got the soft. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Track Evolution, again, is something that could really spice up a couple of the guys you might not believe could get into the top 5 or 6, might stick the softs at the end. A Riordan, as we've seen him do many times, could just bang in the top 3 and knock one of the big guns out. It depends if they want to stay on the mediums and gamble.
Well,
a bit of a traffic jam in Sector 3, by the way.
There's a bit of a traffic jam in Sector. I noticed that myself. There's 4 cars in Sector 3 led by Riordan, who's about to start his lap on the mediums, part of the Aston Martin team that are currently dominating in the constructors standings. The top 2 at the moment are British. Shea Lawler and Hobbs. It is a very British dominated circuit, this track. Lewis Hamilton has won, I believe, according to my sources anyways, has won more than double the races here than any other driver. He's also got the fastest lap here on 4 occasions, so it's definitely a track dominated by Lewis Hamilton and by British drivers over the years. Will we see a British winner tonight? I mean, I'm sure that your own and Vipers, Ken, etc. will have something to say about that, but I think Mrs. Matt's in the chat saying glad to see the best com duo back together, so thank you for the nice words.
Well, I've got to say, she's a bit late, Mrs. Matt. I don't know where
she's doing in
been.
Q2. It's a shocker, that.
It's shocking.
Can't be doing that, can you? Can't be joining Q2.
Mrs. Mark and Mrs. Hedge have been sat here, enjoying themselves for a good 20 minutes, and Mrs. Mark just rocks up now. I mean, I don't know what she's been.
I know. We've had the discussions about our women's racing league. Mrs. Hedge has been doing some practice on the wheel last night around Austria. So
she?
Getting the advantage already. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm getting ready for next season, women's league.
I bet she was quicker than you. I bet, was she, Hedge?
She had some pace, mate. Had some pace. She saw a red light on track and stopped.
Love that. Well, at least she stopped. That's good. That's sensible.
Love that. Here comes Riordan then on it. One of the drivers trying to get through on the mediums, like a little bit wide there, coming out of the second to last corner. He nails the last corner pretty nice. Oh, he invalidates it! Riordan. Alex Dobson, another one on the mediums, but he set some ridiculous pace in the early stage of the season. Of course, back-to-back driver of the day winners, Matt, in the first 2 races in Belgium and Britain. He set some very good pace in that first couple of races, and has been on the podium as well once or twice this season.
Back-end had a bit of a moment there. This is weird, Edge. On the stream I'm watching, obviously I've got our stream up, and he's showing the medium tyres on stream, and yet on the game I'm currently watching, he's got the softs.
Who's that?
Alex Dobson.
See, on mine, he's showing mediums and got mediums on.
On mine, it's softs.
Welcome to Cold Masters, everybody. Welcome to F1. No, Marnie has got me. I can confirm they are yellow and they are medium size. Again, though, I've seen a few go very deep in that second to last corner. I'm wondering, is it a tough corner to navigate because you're flying down the straight and then again Alex stops? I mean, wow! Did you see that?
I've seen drivers not go as wide as that and get a lap invalidated. So
I've got a couple of inconsistent invalidations here because that looked very similar to the line taken by Riordan. Very similar.
He's going to have to go again, isn't he? I think he put a lap quicker than that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to have words, Hedge.
Go on.
I'm going to have to have words. Mrs. Matt has been watching another live stream.
What?
That's where she's been.
Oh, I see how it is.
Bloody disgrace.
Block her from the stream. Block her from the stream. Kick her out. Kick her out. That's a joke. Missing Q on to watch another live. I'm curious to see whose live that was. Please inform us. I'm very curious to see who's clearly more better than us.
You know, we're not being second best in this league. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Yeah, you either committed to us or you're not. You know, we don't have any of this messing about.
I'm gonna lose a seat in the Wags Racing League. I think of that.
Get it down to a reserve.
Yeah, reserve.
5 minutes to go. The Aston Martin. 5 minutes to go in Q2. Jay Lawler currently the favourite for pole, but did you know, another fact here, some education on this Sunday night, I know not everyone's back in work tomorrow, etc. Watching wax melt live. What? You're watching what?
Oh, she watches these really weird live streams of people who do these like body shop competitions, and I'm not even going.
Are you watching that over this?
I'm embarrassed.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
I'm embarrassed.
My blood's boiling. I'm not gonna lie. I'm livid. Just a quick more fact here, Matt, for some education as we approach the end of Q2. Lewis Hamilton's DNF here in 2007 is the only occasion that a pole sitter has not finished the Chinese Grand Prix. So if you get pole, you've got a good chance finishing. But we've seen a couple of times this season where the pole sitters not always come out on top. And I think, to be fair, I don't want to predict it. It's too early. You know, we're not into Q3 yet. But I think we've got a good chance here of seeing the closest battle for pole all season. I know that Belgium had that rain, didn't it? And it changed to dry. But this looks really close. I mean, look at that. Look at Holland drivers in the 32.9s. We've got 3 of them in the 32.9s. One's in the 32. Shea Lawler's looking a lot quicker. But in fairness, the 3 behind him have set laps on mediums and are looking good to get front of mediums, to be fair, Matt, at the moment, which would make it very interesting.
I think there's a couple of guys who are taking a risk here because Nathan's just come out on the mediums. Vipers has come out on the mediums. They're not going to have time to go back in and change their tyres. And if they, obviously they're going to try and get on the mediums. It just makes strategic sense. But if they don't get through,
you know what? Retiring in the pits in 4th.
Yeah.
Well, that's brave.
That's what I mean. These guys who are coming out on the mediums are taking a risk because if some of the guys, the Bowies, the little ones, the Alex Dobsons, the Jay Wills, we know how quick Jay Wills is. If they put a stonking lap on the
Vipers can not set a lap. Yeah, he's on mediums, but he can set a lap.
I think these guys coming out on mediums are a given.
Is it me?
And Hitches almost lost his car.
He has just set a lap into 6th. He has just gone to 6th. Now, little one's over a second up here, which would it put him ahead of your own? It would indeed. Has your own risked it a little bit? I mean, 4th's not a bad position, but little one for one could be one that jumps him here. Will your own drop? He has dropped. He's down to 5th, and you just wonder as it goes on. I mean, is it a risk? There's a good chance he's going to be okay. I mean, he needs 6 more drivers to jump him, but it's certainly not out of the question. I mean, it's confidence from your own, and when you're top of the championship by that many points, you don't blame him, but. Is it a risk? Yeah. I mean, little one's setting good pace tonight. He's up to 2nd. There's a few here that definitely can challenge that time set by your own, of course, which was on mediums. As you mentioned, I can see a lot of softs coming out here. There's still 2.5 minutes to go. Is your own at risk here? Or are we being silly saying that? Or, is there a genuine chance that he could drop out?
If I was as quick as Jerome, I would take the risk because a one-stop round here is just that beneficial. But I mean, at the same time, you drop yourself into that midfield area, you never know what could happen to you, going into turn 1, get caught up with an instant or 2. AJ's in the pit, so I think that's him done. That's only P7.
Well, here comes Bowie. Bowie around the last corner, a little bit gingerly out the last corner, but in fairness, you don't blame me. He's another one that jumps you around. Now, Mazel's on an outlap, Jay Wills, Alex Dobson, Jay Wills is 6 tenths up, can he jump you, Owen? If he jumps you, Owen, you start to wonder that maybe he could be in trouble with the championship leader here. Again, it's a big if. Jay Wills, I think Jay Wills may have screwed it up. Or has he saved it? He jumps you, Owen, he's not screwed it up at all! He's down to 7th! I mean...
oh boy.
There's some very quick drivers here, Matt, that have not set laps yet. Vipers, Ken, Jay, Luke, Nathan, Riordan. I mean, I think your own could genuinely be in trouble here. Nathan's next on mediums.
Maybe he's actually willing to start outside the top 10 and be on the mediums. Maybe he's that
possibly.
confident.
Maybe it's a strategy. Who knows?
He thinks he could win from outside the top 10 anyway.
Well, Nathan's next.
That's not a guarantee.
Nathan, of course, our first pole sitter of the season in that credible qualifying in Belgium. He also jumped your own on the medium tyre. So very good qualifying for Nathan. Of course, he was our first pole sitter of the season, wasn't he, back in Belgium? That incredible qualifying in Belgium on the opening race of the season.
DC's one to watch. Vipers, Ken's gone quicker.
Ooh, he's down to 9th. I mean, how are we going to get a new pole sitter? Really? Alex Dobson's second up here as well, so that'd also knock. Oh, it wouldn't knock him down actually. He needs to improve a bit more, Alex Dobson. But on soft, you'd back him to do it. He's a very quick driver, Alex Dobson. I think your own could be out here. I'm going to predict he's going to go out. I think there'll be 2 drivers that improve.
Reorder still to set laps as well. So
Alex Dobson, will he knock your own that little bit further down? Yes, he will. And there's one driver out of Mazel's PO, Jacob Riordan. And PO's to 4th! He's into Q3! PO's into Q3, a purple sector 3! Is that his first Q3 appearance all season for PO? And he's out in Q2 for the first time all season in round 5. Owen will not be in Q3.
Could Vipers Ken be a victim?
Could DC be out? DC's on a lap, to be fair. Mazel's has jumped up to 10th, which at the moment has knocked DC out. Surely
Vipers
not.
Could be out as well. Vipers Ken could be out of
the 2 favourites of pole could both be out here in Q2. J Luke next. He can have a big thing to say, J Luke, about it. If DC goes out as well, that's incredible. Here we go then. Can J Luke knock Vipers Ken that little bit lower to?
Is fuel's flashing red? Is fuel's flashing red? Is he going to get across the line?
I think he's going to have enough though. He is going to have enough. Mazel's is out. I tell you what, you mentioned your own. He had a strategy. Was it meant to drop this low? If Riordan improves it, he's going down to 14th. Riordan is improving. He's up to 5th, and Vipers Ken's in the drop zone. And I think Vipers Ken's not on the lap. He's not on the lap, so Vipers Ken's out.
DC.
He jumps up and knocks Hobbsy out. Wow! There's some massive names out of Q2 there.
Nathan is the only one. He's the only one who can fight for pole and be on the medium tyre.
We've had some mega qualities, but that Q2 quality is well in the mix this season. Thank you to the 12 of you in the stream. If you could let me know the stream's okay. I've not been told any difference. I'm assuming we're okay again now. Fingers crossed.
It's looking good, yeah.
There is some big drivers that will not be battling for pole there. I mean, Vipers, Ken and Owen for one are certainly in the mix. Hobbs is normally another one that's in the mix. Mazel's, AJ, that's 5 massive names. Big up Pio though in Q3 with the boys.
What's that?
Love that.
That was.
Wow. I mean, let's just quickly go back to the previous pole sitters from obviously the previous 4 races this season. So back into Belgium, of course, it was that incredible end. It was Nathan and Owen on the front row. Since then, Owen and Nathan, Vipers and Hobbsy, and Owen and Vipers. So other than Nathan, we're getting at least one new top 2 this season because Hobbsy, Vipers, Ken and Owen are all out. So, and Nathan, by the skin of his teeth, he could have been out as well. So Nathan will be starting on the mediums, which is interesting, but only 10th. But I mean, you've got to favour J Luke, but J Luke by no means whatsoever is out of the mix here. I'm shocked. I did not expect to see Vipers. I mean, it's going to be interesting tonight to see the likes of Vipers and Owen battling from outside the top 10 at the start. Can they pick people off? Can they avoid damage? Are they going to be patient? It's going to make it a very. I mean, obviously Q3's not been done yet, but to have some big drivers there outside of the top 5 is going to make. Outside the top 10, should I say? It's going to make. I mean, when you look at that as well, the caliber of drivers that went out in Q1 wasn't. It wasn't to be laughed at. Likes of ASL, KXI, etc. So.
It's a mixed up grid, isn't it? And they could be aggressive, but the guys around them are going to be starting on softs in the top 10. So getting past them is going to be tough, and they want to be patient because they don't want to get caught. Because all it'll take is a damaged front wing, and that ruins their one stop. Completely ruins the one stop of the likes of Jerome and Vipers Ken. So I mean, they've got to nail the race. They've got to nail the strategy and stay out of trouble, which will not be easy. Starting in the middle of the pack going into turn 1. I mean, that is wow.
I think you're big favourites of pole, and of course favourites don't always prosper, but I tell you, the big favourites here are between J Luke and J Lawler. I'm going to back J Lawler, but there's a little bit of me that would like J Luke to get pole because of the Ukrainian flag. There's a little bit of me that would like that.
I think Nathan as well. We've not seen him on the soft.
True. Good shout. Very good shout.
So
Pio maybe on the front row. I mean, strange things have happened. You never know.
You never know.
I'd love to see that.
Thank you to the people in the stream. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We are playing. Welcome aboard. Welcome along to the Season 5 Race 5 stream here in China. And we'll go through the standings. We've not done that just yet. We'll keep on board with Nathan. Hopefully people don't have us put on his outlaw this time. That would be nice. P.O. saying no chances in the chat. Well, you're in Q3, mate, so you're doing something right. That's for sure.
P.O., we need to be more positive than that. Come on.
He's in Q3. Is that a Q3 first this season for P.O.? I think it is.
I think it is. I can't get it. That's a shocking attitude to have. I'll be having words.
P.O. mate, come on, son. What are you playing at?
Go for gold, mate. Go for gold.
Jables just put in the chat. So more screen time in Q3. Well, we're not going to watch him now all Q3. We're not going to put him on. So unlucky Josh. No, but Josh always.
I don't think he should be.
He only has in Q3.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mention Ronaldo because a week today is the Manchester derby, so depending on the result, I might not be here next Sunday. It might be Matt on his own. If we lose next Sunday, you will not be seeing me here next Sunday night. If we win, you'll be seeing me next Sunday night. Don't worry about that. But if we lose next Sunday, to them shitters, pardon my language, I'm not going to be here next week. So I just thought I'd get it in there now. If you don't see me next Sunday, you know why. Even a draw, park the bus, all that crap, no chance. We're going to win next week. I'll be back on his own next week with maybe
just get the title, just get the championship standards out the way before you start getting
throwing
stuff around.
I'm sorry. Well, first of all, as I mentioned, it's only our second ever visit to China, so I'm going to look back at the first ever visit to China, which was back in season 2 a long time ago. I think it might have even been F1 2019. Possibly.
Wow.
Which is it's a throwback. Vipers Ken did win that night. He's going to have to do a good job to win tonight, starting down in 12th. Mike Whitty, who's no longer with us in this league, a Season 1 Constructor Champion, got second, and Hobbsy on the podium. Again, Hobbsy has to do a bit of a job, starting outside the top 10 to get a podium. Do you know who finished 12th that night? That can't even speak that night, Matt. It was me.
Oh, wow.
But I think I got DNF. So there you go.
Moving on.
But just to show you how the grid's changed, this was the top 10 in that race. Vipers Ken still here. Mike Whitty gone. Hobbsy still here. Favi, Cole, Ollie, Alfie, Stephen, Keenan, Franco all left the league. So out of that top 10 back in season 2, only 2 drivers are still in this league, which shows how it's changed since season 2. I don't know half of them are. Who they are? God knows, but it goes to show.
They're not in the hedge racing Hall of Fame, or
no. To be fair, Mike Whitty season 1 champion, constructor champion, so he definitely is. Alfie, to be fair, Stephen race winners, but that's mental, isn't it? Since the last time we come to China, only 2 of the top 10 on that race are still in this league. That's mental. And none of them, the 2 that are still here, Vipers and Hobbsy, aren't even in Q3. So something's confirmed. We got a new poll series since the last time we come to China. Get in there.
Yes, definitely. Looks like Jay Lawler with a lap like that, 1:31.3.
Sorry, it's just Kepa's penalty just flew past my window, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say it's just come through mine.
Right. Someone asked what's the race next week. We're actually in Imola next week. That'll be spicy. A trip to Imola. But again, whether I'm here or not comes down to 4:30 in Manchester next Sunday. The City boys better turn up and make sure I'm here next week, because if not, I won't be here.
Edge.
Sorry. Let's go through the standings before I forget. 7 minutes to go. Inky through the laps are starting to come in. Jay Lawler at the moment looking the quickest out of the bunch by some margin, but here comes his rival Jay Luke. Can he compete with Jay Lawler? He's not far off, but Jay Lawler at the moment setting some very good pace. Nathan's invalidated his first run, so not the greatest start for the Williams and Nathan. But quickly, the results from last week in Portugal. It was Nathan who got driver of the day last week in Portugal. So well done to him with Euro and getting the pole and the fast lap. Of course, he won't be getting pole tonight. Anyone doesn't know this, he should know this, but the P1 in Q3 gets 2 points, the P2 in Q3 gets a championship point, so Jerome won't be getting that tonight, that is for sure. He won though, followed by Jay Lawler and Jay Luke. Nathan come 4th from 16th, which you deemed as driver of the day, Matt, 4th from 16th day from last week.
Yeah, it's also the fact that he didn't race in the sprint either, because of the weather knocked his internet, so he jumped into the feature race literally not having done a lap or a racing lap of Portimao, so to come through the field like that was good
shout.
Quality.
Can't disagree with that. There was a full grid last week. There was 4 DNFs, 16 cars finished. 4 DNFs quite low, to be fair. We had 10 at one point this season. I think I've said more than 1 point, haven't we, this season in Singapore and Belgium? So 4 wasn't bad, to be fair, last week. We yet to have a race where everyone finishes. Will that ever happen in Edge Racing League? Probably not. We can hope, we can dream. So that means the championship standings, after only 4 rounds, which is pretty mental, are as follows. Rowan already into triple digits after 4 rounds. He's on 103 points. Now, pretty scary. He's already got a 60-point lead at the top.
He could have a week off
of the drive.
A month off.
He could literally miss 2 races and still be top, which is mental. After 4 rounds, I've never seen anything like it. 60 points clear after 4 races. Now, there's 14 rounds this season, including tonight. There's still 10 rounds to go. Plenty of time for things to change. But he's got to be your massive favourite now to win the title. And if he does win the title, he'll become the 3rd different champion in only 5 seasons to win the championship. So maybe a new name will be on the crown. Vipers Ken, I'm sure, will still have something to say about that. As will, and to be fair to Vipers Ken and Jay Lawler, they have both missed a race. So, you know, if it had been there that night, it would have got points. Of course, things would have been different. But 60 points, Matt, after only 4 races is I mean, it's not an unassailable lead by any means. There's a long way to go. But if you carry on in that form, we can have a champion by literally round 10 in 5 weeks' time.
It could, but I mean, at the same time, I think Vipers Ken would have been up there with him. But it's just mistakes. Jones not made any mistakes. Vipers Ken, as we saw, spun it into the wall at Singapore.
Yeah.
And
he's doing off day, He's doing off day, Riordan. Riordan? You're Owen. Not Riordan.
Yeah, he is, whether he has one. I mean, yeah, Vipers made another error in Portimao. I think he might have had a coming together with somebody.
And he missed a race in Belgium, like you say, you know.
Yeah, so. And he missed a race. So, yeah, it could be. All it takes is a mistake, a DNF from Jerome, and then maybe he has to miss a race week, and yeah, so it could swing.
Just to confirm, your Owen is 60 points ahead of Jay Lawler, who's currently 2nd. He also has missed a race, Jay Lawler, to be fair. Of course, he's our 1st ever champion in Season 1 and Season 2. Vipers Ken then won it in Season 3 and Season 4. It's been a pattern of people winning it in 2. Jerome not one. Of course, it's his 1st full-time season this year. He's going very strong at the moment to get his name on the championship list, that's for sure. Jay Lawler is 2nd on 43 points. Now, interestingly enough, there's a big gap from 3rd to 2nd, but only 22 points separating 2nd down to 10th in the championship. So it is all to play for. Jay Lawler 3 points clear of Vipers Ken. Alex Robson on 31 points. Jay Luke 29. Jack Bally 28. So that's very close. Then comes Little One on 24. Hobbsy, Nathan and Riordan all on 21. AJ on 16, DC on 15. So, I mean, there's a big gap from 3rd to 2nd, Mark, but other than that, it is all to play for. The gaps are tiny.
Yeah, there's a couple of drivers in there I'm sure could have a roll of 3 or 4 really good races, and then suddenly it changed completely. So
yeah. And you know what it's nice to see? We've only done 4 rounds, and only one full-time driver that's not scored at least 1 point. He's not here tonight, that's free-fall. And to be fair, to free-fall, he has missed a couple of races as well. So everyone is scoring points, which is nice, including a couple of reserves. Don't forget Captain Limmy, who raced in Belgium on the opening night of the season. He was a reserve. He got the podium that night. So good to see that reserves are taking the opportunity when they get them. The only reserve tonight is Bailiff. The rest are full-time, which of course is great to see. As for the constructors, then you'd expect Aston Martin to be top, and that is definitely the case. 124 points for Euro and Riordan. An age ahead of McLaren. But this is interesting because from 2nd, this is mental, from 2nd down to 5th, only 12 points separate 4 constructors. Only 5 points separate 3 constructors, because McLaren is 2nd on 57 points, Haas on 56, Alfa Romeo 52, then Mercedes on 45, so there's not much in it at all. Then come Red Bull and Alpine, who are both on 24, Williams on 23, and Ferrari on 22, so the Constructors' Championship is wide open. AlphaTauri down at the bottom on 12, but look at P.O. starting Q3, maybe going to score some points for AlphaTauri tonight. KXI as well is more than capable, Matt. So there's your standings. Of course, your Owens and Aston Martin are the clear favourites at the moment. Looking at the rest of the standings, it's wide open.
Yeah, it could change, couldn't it? Could change
100%.
Race to race. Ferrari could jump up there. AlphaTauri could jump up there with a good race. Constructors all to play for. They'd be interested to see what happens tonight as well, because you mentioned Jay Lawler's the closest competitor to Jerome. Well, he's doing all he can tonight so far, because he's on pole by 4 tenths, and it's going to take a special lap, I think, for any of the the other guys to beat that.
It will indeed. DC currently third. Now, Ferrari are the most successful team in the history of the Chinese Grand Prix, so they'll be looking to carry that on tonight. Ferrari 13
Jay Luke's just had a spin coming out the final corner on his outlap as well. So I mean,
and now he's got behind little one.
Yeah, and he's got to get round in a minute. I think that's it. I
think he's in trouble.
He's spun it. He's crossed the line pretty much
standing little one
still. So
as well. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's like a big result for Jay Lawler.
Yeah, he doesn't want to impede. He doesn't want to impede little one's lap either. As Jay Wills actually jumps him into
front
P2.
row. Well, it's not the harsh you'd normally expect on the front row, but he does go into P2. As in a moment there, I think he's just letting the cars pass. There's only Nathan and Pio yet set a time. Matt did say keep an eye on Nathan, of course, on the softs. Not set a time yet. This is going to be his time now. Ferrari, as mentioned, are the most successful team in the history of the Chinese Grand Prix. 13 podiums in comparison to Mercedes that have 12. So Mercedes at the moment getting the better of Ferrari in qualifying. Can Williams put themselves in the mix? Nathan rounds the last corner. Can he beat Jay Lawler to pole? He can!
Wow!
For now, anyway.
He's done it. Yeah.
Pole sitter on the opening night of the season in Belgium. Possibly a pole sitter tonight in China. Where will Riordan go?
Little one has spun it. I was on board with Jay Luke. Jay Luke was right behind him. He was stuck behind him, as we saw at the start of his lap. And I saw the little one spin it coming out that long, horrible right-hander.
Don't forget, Matt, Nathan starting the race on mediums.
Yeah,
that could be interesting.
It's the perfect qualifying for him. If he can get through the first couple of corners.
Here comes DC. Here comes DC. Where can he put Ferrari? Can he put him in the front row? Oh, it's a third. Jayles is done. Riordan done. Bowie on a lap. I think next is Jay Lawler. It is Jay Lawler. Can he take pole back? Oh, I mean, that's invalidation. Surely it is. He's just throwing away pole. He had pole.
He has.
He validated right at the end, and he's gifted pole to Nathan for invalidation on the last corner. Where can Alex Dobson go? That's an invalidation as well. It is. Last corner.
Riordan's out. Riordan's out. He's hit the wall, and his tyre's gone. The double left-hander. I think he caught. I don't know if he caught the curve on the second of the left-handers.
Here comes Pio. Come on, Pio. He's currently 8th. Can he go any higher than 8th? He saves 8th, but it's not a good effort. A good effort. And it means the Williams of Nathan has took pole, but a big let off for Nathan there with Jay Lawler throwing it away, gifting it to him. And maybe Jay Luke. I mean, Jay Luke will be really disappointed they're only getting 5th.
He's gone quicker. Nathan's just gone quicker again.
Maybe not a let off then. Maybe not a let off, but I'm sure that Jay Luke to only get 5th, he will be kicking himself there, Jay Luke. Right in the mix throughout Q1 and Q2, setting very similar pace to Jay Lawler. P5 by no means whatsoever is a bad starting place, but I think he'll be a little bit upset there, and it is Williams at the top. Of course, 2 points there for Nathan, 1 for Jay Lawler, but credit Jay Wills once again. He always seems to do it in quality, Jay Wills, and once again has done it. Riordan again, though. Q3 Merchant every week in 7th, doing a very good job. I mean, interestingly enough there, am I right in saying that it was only one team that had both drivers there? Only McLaren that have got both. It is. That's incredible.
Yes.
That is absolutely incredible. Only McLaren had both of their drivers in Q3 and a very strong 5th and 6th for Jay Luke and for Jack Bauer. McLaren currently 2nd. Were they 2nd in the constructor, did I say, or were they 3rd behind? They are currently 2nd. Only a point ahead of Haas, though, and only 5 ahead of Alfa Romeo. So good qualifying there for the Haas team. No, sorry, not for the Haas team, for the McLaren team, should I say. And that brings us on nicely for. I mean, it was a great qualifying, Matt.
It was. I mean, if you're Nathan, I mean, you're starting on the right tyre. You can one-stop the race, and you can one-stop the race from pole position. I know the likes of Girona, and will want to come through with the one-stop, but I mean, Nathan's going to be. If he can get away, he needs to get away clean. If he gets away clean, even if he drops a position, he might, have to back out. If Jay Luke or Jay Lawler are coming through on the softs, might have to back out, keep it clean. But I mean, it's the perfect qualifying for Nathan.
That spin for Jay Luke, I don't think it just impacted him. I think it impacted the little one as well, because Jay Luke was right behind the little one throughout his whole lap there, which of course doesn't help him out at all, does it? I think that spin for Jay Luke probably cost them both a little one in the end, spinning the car, starting down in P10, right in the mix there, little one. Of course, we'll get an idea of strategy soon, but starting 10th isn't ideal.
As well. He was so close to his gearbox up the entire lap, which he was, because we saw little one overtake him.
Yeah.
he said it might have put him off when he was coming around that double right hand. I don't know if there's anything that can be done from the stewards there, but
We will see. Let's get ready then for 28 laps. Only the second ever visit to China in this league. Season 5, race number 5. Thank you to everybody in the stream, 11 people. I'm guessing the stream's okay, because once again I've not had any issues. Or anyone tell me of any issues, should I say. So let's get ready then for Season 5, race 5 here in, I believe it is Shanghai. I think I'm right in saying. And I tell you what, some spicy little strategies there, because we knew Nathan would start on the mediums and the rest on softs, but outside the top 10 there's not one driver on the soft side. Is it a medium and hard split? It is a medium and hard split. That is fantastic for commentary purposes.
Girona on the hard tyres. They're going red. Unbelievable. Are they going to go hard soft?
I tell you something, it's very rare you get a split like this. You've got 5 on the hards, 6 on the mediums, and 9 on the softs. So it's a complete pick and mix here of strategies. I mean, no one outside the top 10 has opted for the softs. Then you've got medium. It's literally a pattern: medium, hard, medium, hard, medium, hard, hard, medium, hard, medium. I mean, and of course, the one on softs on mediums. This is incredible.
They've got to be hard soft. That's what them. But I mean, Jerome's going to be at risk to AJ, KXI. Mazzles is in the mix between the two of them on mediums.
And there you go.
Let's not forget Hobbsy's in that P11 on the mediums as well. So don't rule out Hobbsy.
Well, I just got a quick glimpse at the predicted strategy. A medium hard is doable. So of course a hard medium also doable. The soft's not going to be able to do the one stop on. So the strategy is going to play a massive part, I feel, in the winner and the losers of this race. A little bit of background on the Chinese Grand Prix very quickly. A 3.3 mile circuit, of course, 56 laps overall, 28 laps tonight. The previous winner in this race was Lewis Hamilton. It was a double Mercedes 1-2 with Sebastian Vettel getting a podium. That seems like a long time ago. Sebastian Vettel was on the podium for Ferrari, but he was on the podium with Pierre Gasly, and we already mentioned that, but we're big fans of him getting the fastest lap on that occasion. Let's get ready then for Season 5, Race 5. I mean, the strategy tonight is wide open. I can't help but feel, Matt, it's going to predict that's going to help with the winner and loser of this race.
Oh, I thought we had a spin it, but that might have been a connection issue.
I thought it's on the... Is it PO again on the outlap, on the formation lap?
There's someone right at the back who shouldn't be, because Bailiff should be at the back. KXI.
It's an Alpha Tower of KXI, so maybe an issue there, potentially, but Nathan lines up on the grid. I mean, this strategy is very exciting. You got soft runners, medium runners, and hard runners. I mean, it is literally, when I say a pick and mix, you could get any more different. I mean, in terms of a qualifying match, probably the most exciting I've been all season in terms of strategy.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like Girona and Vipers are going to take them hard as long as they can, because what it does, if you start on the mediums and there's a safety car, you've either got to jump on the softs or you've got to stay out later in the race. The hards leaves them open to any safety car. They could go on mediums, they could go long on the softs, but they're not going to be that quick off the line. So this is going to be interesting.
A 16-corner circuit with 2 DRS detection zones. Season 5, Race 5 here in Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix. They held for a while, but it is lights out, and away we go. We are underway then, and it's a great launch from J. Law. Already have a look on the medium runner of Nathan into turn 1. I think J. Law's got the job done, the wheel to wheel. Nathan going to come back at him, but J. Law certainly has the edge in terms of the lead round the twisty and bendy, I don't know what you want to call it, circular section, and it is J. Law who's jumped Nathan into the race lead.
Jerome on the hard's got a great start.
Oh, DNF is AFL off the track. A DNF on lap 1, Matt, and it is already a VSC. As Mark Wilson goes through. What's Mark Wilson doing? Has he got away with that?
Them back.
He's not got away with that, surely, to God, Mark Wilson. There's no way. And he's not. There was no way he's going to get away with that.
No, he's giving us
AFL, who was the first DNF of Season 5, if you remember, in Belgium, has once again DNF'd on lap 1. The Williams of AFL is at 1 Williams fighting for the win. The other Williams went for a very early shower, so AFL on lap 1, DNF. So a crazy start to the biggest winners so far. Not many, to be fair. Vipers Ken, I must say, down to 18th. What happened there?
On the hard tyres, he got caught up amongst a couple of drivers. Jerome almost span it into turn 2. He went down the inside, almost locked wheels with another car, just about kept it. But Vipers Ken's had a
the track as well, and it's PO in a wall. No,
all that work in qualifying to now be down to AlphaTauri bottom 2. Vipers Ken in a little bit of trouble from the other AlphaTauri, KXI, who's chased him down the straight, but it's Jay Lawler who leads. Jay Luke up to a good start for Jay Luke, who's pulled away from the pack, and he's hunting down Jay Lawler and Nathan. So Jay Lawler leads after lap 1, the only driver on track other than KXI to keep his starting position is Jay Wills in 4th. Of course, AFL out of the race on a crazy start to this Grand Prix, but Jay Lawler, Nathan and Jay Luke certainly look like the early favourites. Where's your Owen? He's up 3 places and currently stuck behind the Ferrari of Mazzles. Vipers Ken down 5.
Yeah, I mean, his tyres will still be getting up to speed. He's trying to get past Mazzles. He's using a lot of VRS. He's got to make the moves early, but it will not be easy. But he's got the upper hand on Vipers Ken. If that's one of the guys he will be racing today, he's got the upper hand on Vipers Ken. But it's not going to be easy for Jerome getting through this pack on hard tyres. It's not going to be easy at all.
A lovely battle for the race leader. Nathan's in a bit of a soft sandwich here because, of course, on the meetings he's already been jumped by Jay Lawler and now getting reeled in very quickly from a very fast-looking McLaren driver that's already pulled away on the likes of Jay Wills and DC. A poor start for DC, it must be said. Ferrari's the most successful constructor in China, but he's already down 2 places, and not too far behind him is the Aston Martin of Riordan, who once again is showing everyone that he's right in the mix this year to compete with the big boys at the top. Up 1 place, Bowie down 1, so a complete mixed start really. Manuel's up 3 into the points. You're under a little bit of pressure here.
AJ's trying to put a dent in Jerome's work here as AJ with their medium tyres. Is he going to outbrake Jerome into the hairpin? He's got to avoid the back of the Ferrari, Jerome, and he's had to go wide, and this is it.
He nearly hit Mazzles.
He might be one of the quicker drivers.
Yeah, the flag is one of the front. It's Jay Wills!
Jay Wills!
In a wall. We said how good of a start he had. He's dropped all the way down. And the problem is, Matt, has he got damage? I think he has. And he's passed the pit lane. It's going to be a very long lap for Jay Wills to get to get into the pits. It's all going off in China, but Jay Wills very lucky not to DNF there. And a bad start for AlphaTauri and Haas.
Bailiff in the pit lane. I'm going to assume that's damage. He did get overtaken in the second set. Oh, he's got no front wing. He's got absolutely no front wing whatsoever, so I don't know what we've missed there, but Bailey, it's going to be a hard race for him now. He's jumped on the hards. I'm going to assume he's going to try and take them all the way to the end. But Jerome...
There's another yellow flag here. It's Bowie! He's shot Bowie in the McLaren, and he's out of the race! In a wall, completely in a wall. Now, I think we've got another VSC. It's 2 DNFs in 3 laps. It's chaos in China, and it's one of the front runners, McLaren, who is second in the Constructors' Championship. That's massive for the Constructors, and Jack Bowie is out of the race. A podium sitter, I believe, on the opening day of the season, but he's out today, and already, Matt, 3 laps in, 2 DNFs. It's a chaotic start to this Chinese Grand Prix, and no full safety car, but 2 VSCs already.
I can't believe it. Bowie, you rarely see that from Bowie. Normally such a reliable driver, I'd be kicking
You wonder if there was
himself.
contact. You wonder.
It's a weird place to go off, isn't it? It's not. I wouldn't say it's a normal place to go off.
I tell you
shows
something
that
here.
mistakes
Little
can be
one
made.
getting very close. Oh, Riordan and AJ both. Yeah, you get on as well. Is it just Riordan? It's Riordan drive-through pen. No.
Speeding on the VSC.
And I believe Alex Thompson and Little One are very good friends. They got very close then under the VSC. They're in a great battle in the sixth.
Jack Pretty and Mark Wilson also having a good battle. Oh, Jack Pretty! Oh, what a catch! What a
At least
catch!
Samag's got a free spot there then.
Yeah, Jack Pretty had to catch his car there.
I mean, you've got a feel for Riordan, who's up to 5th. He's had a great start, and a drive-through pen now will certainly cost him an Aston Martin. The constructors' leaders, Matt, so that won't do them any favours either. With Riordan getting a drive-through pen, you're only 10th, but up 4. Again, starting to claw it back after a poor start, but will not want to be stuck behind Mark Wilson for too long. He's going to try and get a move on Mark Wilson here. Maybe Vipers Kenny. He's going to think about it, but no. Going to wait his turn. Top of Vipers Kenny, he's got Jack Pretty behind him and KXI. It's a bit of a train at the moment. As for the race lead, J Law all of a sudden pulled a bit of a gap on Nathan and J Luke.
Yeah, AJ's looking quick as well. He has got a penalty, but he's going down the inside of Mazzles in sector 2. Oh my word! Mazzles would have moved across there. That'd have been a spin for AJ. Good racing between the two, but AJ's looking quick. Mazzles has gone deep.
It's a little battle between the 4 of them because there's another yellow flag here. I think is it PO? It is PO off the choice. It's KXI. It's KXI. it's a great battle between the four of them here because Rowan and Hobbsy not too far behind. AJ and Mazzle's a wheel to wheel coming down the straight, and look at you, Rowan. He's flying. They're going to be 3-1. He's not going to try and go past them both. He might do.
He's not going to.
He's going to break late. Hobbsy in the mix as well. There's four of them together, and they're all very quick drivers. Rowan, of course, on the hard, looking to try and avoid damage at all costs. DC in the pits, is that damage? Or just a strategy call, maybe on the softs for DC to get the tyres up for you, possibly on the softs.
Look at this, Jerome! Down, he's trying to go down the inside of Matters into turn one, surely not!
He's contact between the two! Hobbsy in the mix as well, but Jerome, has he got the job done? I think he has!
Oh, Hobbsy's trying to bully his way down the inside
they both got past Mazzles.
He's got the move done.
And Jeroen, to be fair, let me a spin there from Jeroen, though. He's got to be careful, he don't want to burn them hards out, does he? He's got to be careful. Because them hards, they'll take a bit of time to get going, but I guess if Jeroen, they find straight away, he's already up to 7th place. I've not had as much of a good start as Jeroen, but he's up to 10th now. But can Jeroen hold off the pressure of Hobbsy and Mazzles? Let's see. And AJ, to be fair, who's just a bit ahead of Jeroen at the moment. Little one, not really spoken about him yet, but we've seen DC pit early for the mediums. Not many soft runners left on track. Will they pit soon? Has DC got the undercut there, maybe?
I think the undercut's going to be really powerful around.
Look at Nathan and Jay Law for the lead. So clearly the softs are dying off because Nathan with DRS here, it's going to fly past Jay Law, and there's a new race leader. And you just wonder,
exactly what we said.
Has pitting that lap early going to do DC wonders here? However, is he in traffic? He is in traffic though, DC, behind Riordan and Pio. So let's look for the stopper. Are they going to pit? They're not. J-Luke is, but J-Law isn't. Ooh. Well, J-Law going back to the race lead here. To Nathan, into turn one. They wheel to wheel the two of them. Mediums versus softs. They literally wheel to wheel. Battling out. This will not do J-Law the softs any favours because he's still stuck behind Nathan. So I wonder, will that cost J-Law? I think it might do, being stuck in a battle as well. He's not got clear track. Look at J. Luke coming out in a nice clear track there. I think that could cost J. Law, I'll be honest with you.
I think he's going to get undercut. I really do.
Yellow flag. It's a Mercedes. It's Mark Wilson.
Is it Mark Wilson?
Yeah, off the track.
He was in a battle going into turn one with Jack Pretty, I think. And yeah.
Now Alex Thompson, the little one, have also decided to stay out on track. So I wonder if, like I said, J. Luke and DC will benefit massively. I think J. Luke especially will benefit massively from this because he's in clear track. J-Law still stuck behind Nathan. I mean, J-Law's probably going to pick now as AJ makes a move on Little One. Oh, he spins into Little One! That's lucky. That is lucky. That is lucky. Very, very lucky. Now, this is interesting now because...
Oh, he's got off track. AJ's got off track and
lost
Jeroen
places.
Has just swept down the inside. I wonder if he's got damage.
Now, I wonder
if AJ's got damage.
If J-Law pits in this lap, will J. Luke surely gain and get a place on him? Is he going to go? Sure, he's not doing a lap here, J. Law. Surely he's going to pick now, but I think J. Luke will be laughing here. J. Luke just on the straight now. J. Law does pit, but I think J. Luke will get him. Surely, comfortably get him. I think so. J. Luke, you can see J. Luke. He's almost at the second to last corner now, and J. Law's not even pitted yet. I think J. Luke will get J. Law by some distance here.
DC's cutting his way through the traffic as well. I think he knows. I think DC knows how important this undercut is. He's sent it. He's got past Pierre. He's got past Mark Wilson. So DC could jump him as well.
Well, J. Law can't pit. Here comes J. Luke down the straight, and it's not as clear as what I'd have thought. But J. Luke does jump J. Law just at turn one. It wasn't as clear as what I'd have thought. And DC not too far behind either. Just set up after his lap, DC. On the meetings, but J. Luke does jump J. Law, so that pit stop, that undercut, working a treat there.
It certainly is. It's interesting as well. A lot of the drivers have jumped on mediums. So you've got J. Luke, J. Lawler, DC, Alex Dobson, fresh mediums, but Little One, Hobbsy, Pio, Riordan, all on fresh hard. So they might be committing to tyres to go all the way to the end, whereas the medium runners are going to have to pit again. So it's crucial that the medium...
Oh, Jack Pretty spun!
Pretty! Oh, he's ghosted. Oh,
it's a good job he's ghosted. It's a good job he's ghosted. Jack Pretty not pitted yet on the hards, and I mean, I was watching how J. Luke was stuck behind him. I mean, he's lucky that none of them two got dragged into that.
He's got to be careful. His teammates coming around the outside. Little One as well.
Interestingly, interestingly, Little One and Alex Dobson were both on the soft. They both pitted, as you mentioned. Alex Dobson on the mediums.
Little one on the hard, so that'll be an interesting battle as we approach lap 8. Nathan does lead by 10 seconds, but of course him and Jeroen are yet to pit. Neither is AJ, Mazzles, Vipers, Ken. So technically speaking, your front runner at the moment is Jay Luke on the mediums, and he's also pulled a little bit of a gap on Jay Lawler here already.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this one stop versus two stop goes, because
is DC really Jay Lawler in, or is it me? I think he is. It certainly looks like it. So 3 of them here in pretty close contact. I mean, there is gaps, but I wonder if DC is really in Jay Lawler. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Jay Lawler is saving his battery though in comparison to Jay Luke. So Jay Lawler potentially waiting for his time to pounce and not rushing. Hobbsy stuck behind Jay Lawler, but we'll try and get a movie. Hobbsy on the hard, Jay Lawler's on the mediums, and Hobbsy going to fly past him. Not been Hobbsy's 90 so far though. Only down in 13th. Will Jay Wills come back at him here? He might do. On the medium tyre.
Jay Wills is probably in the worst position out of everyone. He's got 3-lap-old mediums. He's got to pit again. He's down in 14th. Alex Dobson as well, committed to the mediums. There's already hard runners ahead of him. So it's going to be really, really. I'm curious to see how it works and if these hard runners can stick in there, because traffic could play a huge factor in how well these medium guys can get through. And obviously they need to pit again as well, so they need to make a pit stop worth of time on these hard tyre runners, assuming they're going to go at the end. And safety cars can of course completely flip that on its head as well.
Alex Dobson on the fresh mediums, he will not want to be stuck behind the Mercedes of Matt Wilson on all the lads. This is what he's doing is Alex Dobson wants to try and set some good time on the medium tyres. Isn't going to be able to at the moment, but he should be able to get past Mark here, especially with the help of DRS. Mark going to try and defend for his life, but I don't think he has much hope here, Mark. I think it's going to be a pretty simple move. The yellow flag again, looks like an Alpha Tauri. I think this time it is PO. Or is it Cake Tie again? No, it is PO.
Yeah, it was PO, yeah.
As Alex Dobson does get past Mark Wilson up into P9. As Jay Luke gets past Vipers Ken.
Yeah, well this is it. This is the two.
Ken coming back on the inside maybe. Having a look. It's a tough place to overtake that corner. Very over. Oh, it's contact! Oh. And that splits the two medium runners from Jay Luke and Jay Lawler.
He has to. This is where Jay Luke has to build. He has to build that time up over Vipers Ken, because
it's two wheel to wheel on the straight as well. There is that Hobbsy?
Got to pit again.
It's Hobbsy and Jay Wills wheel to wheel. Yellow flag again. Looks like an Alpha Tauri collision. Maybe. I think it may have been an Alpha Tauri collision
back there.
I mean, was it the PO's pitting? Did Alpha Tauri collide? No wing! Did Alpha Tauri collide with each other there? Maybe. I mean, that could be controversial later on in the stewards, but it was a yellow flag on track. PO's got no wing, so have Alpha Tauri done each other over there? They're currently at the bottom of the pack. I mean,
he needs a safety car PO now. I mean, he's fitting mediums. So I'm assuming he's going to try and take them to the end.
PO could be lapped here. He's going to be lapped.
Well, we saw in the Tier 4 corn race in Brazil last week. He got lapped there as
well. Yellow flag again. It's Bailiff. So a lot of people going off track, Matt. No safety cars as of yet. 2 VSCs, but a lot of people losing the car here.
Yeah, and a problem worth pointing out, and it may have been because I collided with PO on lap 1, I'm not going to comment, but he got lapped, which means, of course, with this game, if it's a safety car, sometimes you get stuck in the pack behind the leader and you cannot unlap yourself. So I pray that PO's not in the same position as he was in Brazil in the CRL race, because him and Freefall were literally stuck lapped. No matter how many safety cars come out, they could not get past the leaders to unlap themselves, and they were stuck for the whole race.
Yeah, it's so frustrating that, isn't it, when that happens?
Yeah, because in real life, obviously, the safety car lets the lap cars through, and the leaders have to stay in position. But sadly, Codemasters haven't programmed that into the game.
In the midst of all that, J Lawler did get past Vipers Ken, but J Luke's got a good lead on J Lawler there, over a second. Or just literally just over a second at the moment. As Little One also stuck behind Matt Wilson now. They'll lead both on the hard tyres, but Little One's hard tyres in much better condition than the Mercedes of Mark. This is a battle for the final point position. You can see Little One does look a lot quicker than Mark at the moment, and we'll want to get past him. Little One's going to try and be patient or not force anything so which could cost him a penalty. Is he going to try and make a move now? No, he's not.
He's putting the pressure on though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to want to get that move done pretty soon, Little One here, and try and gain. You see Alex Dobson and Little One pitting at the same time, both on different tyres, and for now, Alex Dobson up having the quicker tyre, but that will change as the race progresses, no doubt. But you can see Little One
He'll be open on the straight and he gets the job done on the Mercedes driver that is yet to pit on them hard tyres. I think he'll do his job here pretty simple, pretty straightforward in the end. He didn't need the DRS, he's already done the job before. The DRS didn't even come out pretty much then.
Yeah, you don't need to waste your ERS. You should get the job done, Mark. Yeah, he's not even...
Oh, J-Law's reeled in J-Luke all of a sudden, and J-Luke's got no battery! Wheels wheeling turbo and J-Law going for the move on J-Luke! And getting the job done! There's a little bit of contact, J-Luke's going to try and come back, but I think J-Law has done it! Was watching one Mercedes, didn't notice the other, and J-Law has flown past J-Luke to retake that place! Where did that come from? Has J-Luke had a bit of a moment, maybe, I don't know, but J-Law has took that place back. Advantage Mercedes over McLaren now in this race.
You know what, fair play, because J-Luke could have easily turned in and not realised that J. Lawler was there, and there could have been a really big collision into turn one, but he noticed he was there, he moved out to the left slightly, gave him space, let the position, you know, he didn't try and fight it too much, and, you know, you live to fight another day, so yeah, good racing by J-Luke there, he saw him coming and didn't try and shut the door on him or anything like that, because J. Lawler absolutely sent it. Another person worth mentioning, Mazzles. He's having an absolutely unbelievable race. He started on the mediums and he's keeping up. He's sticking in there with AJ, and he's in a pretty good position considering he hasn't pitted yet. If he can keep going at this pace.
Well, AJ's got 8 seconds of pen, so that's speaking. Mazzle's in the podium position. Oh, with the yellow flag there. That's DC. That's the Ferrari, and it is DC in a wall, and that could be costly. Has he got damage? He's certainly losing places, that's for sure.
He's still got a front wing, but his tyres they'll feel horrible.
He's going to drop well out of the point. Nathan Pitts, here we go then. The pole sitter. The mediums are done for Nathan. Medium hard it is. Where will he come out? Will he come out in the thick of it? He's going to come out behind you. He's going to have clean air, to be fair to him. That's perfect.
Yeah, Kuipers Ken.
Oh, that's Ken not too far behind, but it is clean air for Nathan. That's going to work out a treat. DC going to have to pit. I think he did have damage. It looked like he did anyway. No, he didn't have damage. He stays out on track, but out of the points. Jack Pretty picking up penalty. That's a pretty bad attempt from Jack Pretty that to get a penalty there.
No.
J. Law all of a sudden he's flying in. He's reeling in the old medium runners of AJ and Mazzles. Now, this may help J. Luke here though get back into DRS of J. Law because he's stuck behind the Ferrari. But J. Law seems to be flying at the moment, doesn't he? Absolutely flying on the mediums.
He is, and he needs to as well. Obviously, Jerome's
Mazzles is restraining him here though, isn't he? Look at J. Luke all of a sudden. Right back behind him.
He's caught him in the wrong place. He's caught him in the worst place. He will get past him on the back straight, but J. Luke's going to have a double dose DRS and
this could be tasty.
J. Luke
Mazzles will also have DRS as well, won't he? Mazzles will have DRS as well. Oh no, will he? Yeah. No, he won't. He's out of it.
He might fancy a double pass here if he can get the slingshot.
This could be interesting.
Should get the move done, but
don't rule out J. Luke getting involved in this as well. He's a little bit further away though, isn't he? All of a sudden, seems to have lost a bit of time, but he's certainly going to be. Well, J. Law will go for the move on Mazzles. Not going to be easy as first anticipated. Mazzles not letting him easy, but I think J. Law has got it done, and now he separates the two. J. Luke will not want to be fighting this Ferrari for too long. With AJ now in the mix as well. J. Law will get DRS on AJ.
Mazzles is in the pit lane.
J. Law getting DRS on AJ as well, so it'll pull away even further from J. Luke. To be fair, J. Luke's also got DRS though, so Mazzles does pit as you mentioned. AJ in second, but yet to pit, and the mediums will start to really hurt now, I'd imagine. Nathan currently not too far behind the pack now. He's already catching up J. Lawler and J. Luke, yeah, so this could be interesting. Mazzles pits and comes out in the thick of it as well. Right in the mix, Mazzles there, just behind Hobbsy. Not even mentioned Hobbsy tonight, or Alex Dobson. Alfa Romeo on a pretty quiet race, but Alex Dobson is in 7th to be fair, not having a bad night's work. As a PO, not working out PO in the end, is it, after getting that Q3?
No, it's a shame, it really is. But one
thing DC and Mark, wheel to wheel, Fry versus Mercedes, and Mark's not letting him have it easily. This contact between the two, and DC still wheel to wheel, but it's just edging it over Mark, and looks like he's got the job done. Yeah, Mark's hard started to die, aren't they now? He's losing places, Mark Hobbsy. All from the much fresher hards, right on the back end of the Mercedes drive for that final points position. Of course, DC had that spin earlier on, but he's starting to climb the ladder. There's still one way to go here in this race, Matt. No safety car as of yet, but certainly a possibility.
J. Lawler,
what we've seen so far.
AJ, is AJ going to battle because he has got pens?
It's contact.
And
there is contact.
He's going to have to pit off. He's got to get off them mediums. Is he going to pit? No,
he isn't.
no,
He's going to hold J. Luke a little bit here as well. J. Luke does get DRS though, and J. Law doesn't. There's a yellow flag on track. That's Jack Priddy. That could be a safety car this time. It is a safety car this time. Here we go.
Perfect for Jerome.
And it's not worked out for Jack Priddy, who has gone right in the wall. The Alpine has gone right into the wall there, and Jack Priddy, it's not quite worked out for him. Since flying in the early stages of the reserve, took the Alpine seat. It's not quite gone to plan for Jack Priddy, which is a shame, but he becomes our third retiree of the night, joining AFL and Jack Bowie out of the race. And this makes things interesting now because we are halfway through the Grand Prix. Everyone's going to be together again. People are going to pit for new tyres, Matt. This could be great.
Jerome, I mean, he's done it again. I mean, he's got track position. He gets a free pit stop. He might have planned to take them hards a bit longer, but I think he can jump on the mediums till the end. Same for Vipers Ken. And the guys who've just jumped on the mediums, they might have to jump back in to get fresh mediums on. I mean, is Jay Lawler going to go on fresh mediums, considering he'll inherit the race lead, you'd think, when Jerome pits. Same with Jay Luke. So what did Jay Lawler and Jay Luke do? Did they sacrifice track position for the fresh mediums? Because Jerome might be just behind them. Which worked out perfectly for Jerome, hasn't it? I mean, he's just perfect life right now.
Has P.O. unlapped himself? I think he has, which is great to see as well. So P.O.'s race is not over yet. There's still hope. KXI in the pits as well. He's going to be okay. So AlphaTauri out of the mix yet. They're still going. Don't rule out for some points. Let's see what tyres. This is going to be interesting now then. I'd imagine a lot of pit. There's a lot of fresh medium runners there though, isn't there? That have already pitted.
Jerome's
so medium to the end looks like the obvious one.
What's Jay Lawler going to do? What's Jay Luke
He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
What's Nathan going to do? Nathan's obviously just pitted onto the hard tyres.
They're all pitting.
Again, so
They're all pitting.
Vipers
Kenny. Wagner's got to pit. He's got to pit Vipers Ken. So Mazel's all of a sudden not in a bad spot, but will he want to come on for mediums as well? I think the ass could be out the window here. Look at the bottom 11. All on brand new mediums. There's going to be mediums all around here, this. Which means it's going to be an equal game all of a sudden to the end of this race. This could be very interesting here. Very, very interesting indeed.
It's worked out perfectly for Jerome. He's jumped everybody.
I think also even on fresh mediums, aren't they? Oh, AJ on fresh hards! And Mazel's on fresh hards. Wait, what? Mazel's pitting again? Is he just pitting Mazel's? I think he had. AJ, though, opting for the hards. Did he have to? I think he had to. Now, will he go around again and pit again? I don't know.
Yeah, Mazel's getting...
Of course, AJ put them lots on the mediums, didn't he? So he couldn't pit for the mediums again. You see, every driver, bar one, is on fresh medium tyres, which, of course, it's going to be a long, long way until they all catch up to each other. You can see that everyone's all over the show at the moment, but we're in for a really tasty last 12 laps, though, for this race, with everyone being together, all on equal tyres, no penalties of note. This could be great. It's a shootout, really, now.
Do you know what I feel really sorry for Nathan? Because he had the perfect quali.
Yeah.
He had a solid start. He stayed out of trouble. He pitted onto the hards. He should have just had a safe, easy run on the hards. Jerome was, I think, 10 seconds ahead, so Jerome would have pitted and come out maybe 12, 13, 14 seconds behind him. The safety car has dropped him in the mix. He's behind Jay Lawler. He's behind Jay Luke. And even Jay Lawler and Jay Luke could have fancied themselves to beat Jerome and gain on him in the championship. Will be now sat behind him in the safety car queue going, how the hell has he somehow gotten up to the front? Yeah, that's just the look of the draw in it. Sometimes it just... That's the benefit of starting on the hards. They were able to take them that long and wait for that safety car. But it's good for P.O. because when Nathan pitted, it allowed him to not be lapped again, so he's been able to... He'll be able to catch the pack again now, which is good.
It's a complete pick and mix of constructors as well. You've got an Aston Martin, a Mercedes, a McLaren, a Williams, a Red Bull, a Haas, an Alpine, an Alfa Romeo, a Ferrari. I mean, is that nine? Am I right in saying that's 9 different constructors in the top 9? I'm pretty certain that right. I'm spot on with that. That is incredible. It's ridiculous. AJ sticks with a heart. I worry for him. I must admit, I do worry for him.
I worry for him. He could drop like a stone here.
Alex Hobson passed Little One. Now these two, they keep swapping these two here. Little One's now gone past him again. So I know it's that on the straight they've swapped as well. So I'm not too sure if there's an issue. Is that someone's passed him again? He is. So I'm just questioning whether there's a bit of a bug here or a bit of an issue. Now what you don't want to see is any form of penalties here now at this stage of the race. Of course they will get removed
of course, if they need to get removed, but you don't want to see it. It's a pretty clean. I mean, it's a pretty clean sweep at the moment in terms of penalties. Of course, AJ has got one, and so's Pio. But other than that, everyone on mediums, no penalties. It's going to be a shootout to the end here. And Alex Thompson and Little One are pretty much together, which is very strange.
I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to pop to the toilet hedge quickly.
Yeah, not a problem, mate. Not a problem.
In 2 seconds, but I have no idea what's going on.
I'm going to put the heater on here because I am very, very cold. But if you're still in the stream, still here on this Sunday evening at 11 o'clock at night, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know this Sunday night's a bit awkward sometimes, but if you're still here, still listening at 11 o'clock at night, thank you so much. Please give me a thumbs up in the stream if you are still here. Let me know the stream is still sounding and looking okay as we approach lap 17 under this safety car here in Hedge Racing Season 5, Round 5 of 14 for our second ever visit to Shanghai, the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix. Jeroen currently our race leader, but I think maybe one more lap actually because both AlphaTauris are yet to catch up to pack, so potentially we are in for maybe one more lap. Depends how Bert Melander, how generous Bert Melander is feeling. He was in the Aston Martin safety car last week, he's in the Mercedes safety car tonight, but how generous is he feeling? Will he do more lap to allow the AlphaTauris to catch up with the pack? Or will he think, you know what, I'm bringing it in and a lucky AlphaTauri, let's have a look. As they go down the straight, and the closer you get to the pits, with no indication of it coming in, you wonder, are we going to do another lap here? I think there's a chance. I think we are going to be doing one more lap under safety car conditions due to both AlphaTauris yet to catch up the pack. So we're going to come in at the end of lap 17, meaning 10 laps or so of racing gear in this Season 5, Round 5 Grand Prix at the Shanghai International Circuit here in China. Thank you to the 6 people that are still in the stream, of course. So one more lap, Matt, just updated because both AlphaTauris didn't catch up the pack. So Bert Melander feeling very generous in the safety car, allowing the AlphaTauris to catch up, but it needs one more lap under safety car conditions for us.
I'm glad because I didn't want to miss anything, but yeah, well, it's only right. I mean, the AlphaTauris, they need to catch up. It needs to be, they need to get back to the pack. It's good to see them back there, though. But what are you thinking then now? Because obviously, Jeroen would be your favourite anyway. He's obviously been able to jump the pack. Do you fancy Viper's Care? I mean, Nathan showed pace. Jay Lawler can fight Jeroen. Jay Luke's got pace. I mean, this could be a juicy final 10 laps.
We mentioned on lap 1, didn't we, on the formation lap, that strategy will play a massive part. Strategy's out the window now. Completely gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's on an even playing field now. They're all on, bar AJ, they're all on fresh tyres, all on the same compound. No penalties. It's literally an even playing field. Anyone could win this race. Anyone that wants to win it could win it. Even your likes of your J Wills, your Riordans, they're not in the top 10 at the moment. They've got a lot of pace. They've shown that consistently week in, week out. There's no reason why they can't creep up the mix here and get involved as well. So it's an even playing field. I do worry for AJ, I must admit, on the hard. J Wills, retired on track.
Retired? What?
What has happened there? Now, has he crashed? That is a strange one.
He must have.
I mean, it's massive for Haas. It's in this lap. But that is a really strange one. Now, has he made contact with someone? I'm guessing not, because no one's got a penalty. Let's have a look at what it says in the incident screen. I assume terminal damage. It is terminal damage, J Bulls, lap 17, so has he just lost the car? What a waste.
It might be trying to warm his tyres up and...
Well, if you're AlphaTauri, it bumps you up one more, doesn't it? To points, but I mean, what has happened there? I mean, that is a shame. It's a very slow restart for Jeroen. Oh, just going up to the straight. He's already let the safety car go. He's in no rush at all, is he? He's just tough on this, isn't it? Because on a restart, what do you do here? This is interesting. He's not in a rush, is he? He's in a rush.
He's normally really good off the restart. Jay Lawler's stopped weaving. He's ready to go. Look,
he wants to fight. Jeroen's in no rush at all. I mean, this could be tasty. What is that? You've got to question, what has happened to J Wills to DNF there? I do not know. I'm sure we'll find out from him himself, but when does Jeroen go? It won't be yet. You don't want to go yet on the corner, do you? Another corner to come yet, and he's in no rush, Jeroen. Oh, he's gone now, though. Here we go.
He's gone now.
Approaching lap 18, round 5, season 5. We are back underway. Green flag conditions any moment now. There you go. Here we go then. 10 laps to go. 16 drivers remain. Equal strategies. Equal penalties. It is a shootout to the finish. Can Jeroen extend his lead at the top of the championship, or can the likes of Jay Lawler, Jay Luke, Nathan, Vipers Ken get in the mix and close that gap? Let's have a look. KXI seems to have made a move on Bale. I think he has. So Alpha Tauri climbing the grid. I love to see it. But nothing to report as of yet. Looks like everyone's got away cleanly. No real flags.
Bailiff's car's AI'd.
Ooh, you're off the track. You're off the track there. Wide, completely wide off the track, Euro, and he didn't lose a place. But I don't know what that was. Just completely. Is Euro losing the car again? He is.
Wide again.
This is interesting. Doesn't look comfortable at all on this first lap. You're on a couple of little errors there that have allowed J Law to really close the gap. Of course, no direction for the first couple of laps.
Nathan's got it done on the inside of the left-hander. Oh my word! What a place to try and move. Maybe he should have been a little bit more patient and wait for the straight.
Of course, no DRS yet, Matt. But Euro looks a little bit squirmy there on the first lap.
Yeah, both of them deploying ERS. Jerome stopped deploying his ERS now. He's to the inside. There's been another spin at the back. Peel's in the wall. Oh,
here comes Nathan on J-Luke then. Nathan breaking late into the corner. His contact, but J-Luke for now keeps that place. Alex Dobson jumps past his good friend, the little one. Them two have been stuck together like glue all night. It reminds me of Bahrain, me and you last year, Matt, when we didn't leave each other alone. There's a yellow flag. That's what I'm thinking. It's J-Luke. Oh my God, the track. And that's one of the front runners out the running. And there's damage as well. There is big damage for J-Luke by the looks of it. I can see a wing.
In the worst position, yeah.
Oh, it's not damage actually. No damage for J-Luke.
Look at Alex Dobson and Little One as DC's trying to slip down the inside of both of them. Contact there as DC comes together with the Little One. As I think he's going to keep this position.
A big loss for J-Luke as it stands. McLaren second in the Constructors' Championship, but scoring no points at the moment as Little One, DC and Alex Dobson having a great battle here. Hobbsy and Maddles not too far behind either, but a massive blow for J-Luke, who's in the mix for the win. Now, not even going to get a point by Bonnell as it stands at the moment, that's for sure. So McLaren at the moment in trouble.
All I can think of is that he went wheel to wheel with somebody going through that final left-hander, and that there was a bit of contact. Unless he has just spun the car and maybe planted his ERS down, but J Lawler is not letting Jerome go, and if he can stay within a second when that DRS is re-enabled, we could see a couple of juicy battles for the race lead, which is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, DRS should be enabled at the end of this lap, I believe. 3/10 separating Alex Dobson from Little One. They're still stuck together. Can Little One get past? He's leapfrog between these two at the moment. It's crazy. Little One very close. Of course, no DRS yet, as already mentioned. He's very close. He's almost touching him. Yeah, the back of him there. DC going to break late, and DC very nearly. It's literally a train here. DC, Hobbsy, Mazzles, Riordan, Mark Wilson as well in the mix. Fastest laps and Nathan setting the quickest lap at the moment out of the top three. As J Lawler reeling in your own. The DRS enabled now, of course. And Little One maybe going to go for him like something into turn one, but waits his turn on the inside, maybe.
The door is open.
It's such a hard car, and DC might get Little One here. This contact DC. And DC nearly loses it. Look at this train. Riordan behind Mark Wilson. There's a six car train here. This is mental stuff. J Lawler though, reeling in your own.
Yeah, J-Luke's finding his way back through again, but I mean he's going to be frustrated. He was one of the ones who I was thinking could challenge for the race win. But
fair play to AJ. I mentioned he'd be in trouble, AJ, but he's not looking like that at all at the moment. He's still fourth, over a second clear Vipers Ken. Not struggling, is he really? On the hards.
He's not. No, I thought Vipers Ken might have given him a bit more trouble off the line, but
yellow flag. Who's that then? Was that
Riordan?
J-Luke again, maybe? Yeah, I think it is Riordan. He's lost time to Mark Wilson. Was there contact between the two of them, maybe? There's a right end plate missing off Riordan's car. You have to pit Riordan. And Aston Martin, bit of a blow there. Because Riordan's not going to get points. Yeah, look at the train from Alex Dobson downwards. This is crazy. Here comes Little One then. Gets past Alex Dobson. Might have to try and come back though. Thinks he's going to break really late as well and go for a move on Alex Dobson. Doesn't get it done, but this is mental. There's J Lawler reeling in Jerome as well. Who's your favourite at the moment?
J Lawler looks quicker. Jerome's gone wide again into turn one. I mean, I really have no idea.
DC and Alex Dobson wheel to this contact between the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari that could invite Hobbsy. DC in a very, very small Alfa Romeo sandwich here that also involves a Ferrari, a Mercedes, an Alpine.
He just can't get through.
This is crazy.
DC sat there, he must be so frustrated, he just cannot find his way through little one
Now,
Alex Dobson. To be fair, you say the pals, they might be just trading DRS just to pull each other along. Because
well,
DC can't get through.
Riolan does pit. Now, one thing Riolan can do is try and get a fast lap on them softs, which would help Aston Martin, because he would get the point for them, but it will take it away from any other potential drivers. So that's something that Riolan probably can do. But it looks like Riolan's chances of points tonight are over. I think I'm right in saying potentially the first time this season he won't score points. Maybe I'm wrong with that, I'm not too sure, but quite potentially.
Late safety car. He's on the softs. Late safety car. All I'm saying. Here comes
J-Lo's got no battery. Look at J-Lo's battery though. Will he need it? Let's see.
I feel like he's been using it all just to get back in touch with Jerome, and sensibly Jerome's let him by, because I think he knows that I'll keep up with you and I'll get DRS, but...
Oh, Vance Ken diving on AJ, and Ken up to 4th, and maybe AJ's hards are starting to feel a little bit sluggish as Hobbsy gets past... Oh, the foul for a male's contact! Hobbsy and Alex Dobson! Alex Dobson wasn't keen on letting him through, but Hobbsy up to 8th.
DC's got through as well. Yeah, DC's got through fine.
Here comes Miles and Alex Dobson, who could lose 2 for 1 here. As Ferrari and Alfa Romeo having a great battle between both their drivers. It's incredible, this. DC, look at that, Ferrari Alfa. That's mental.
Suddenly there's 3 cars between Alex and his friend the little one, so yeah, their little plan of trading DRS is over.
And now it's your own turn to try and hunt down the Mercedes of J. Lawler and get that P1 back. Nathan, though, creeping into DRS himself here, watching these two fight it out. He has burnt a lot of battery, though. Look at your own battery in comparison to J. Lawler and Nathan. That's going to suit your own down to the ground here, but you feel that Nathan just pushing the car, letting these two battle in front and waiting for his opportunity to strike, but goes wide there. Nathan loses the car, and all that progress he just made, he's now going to lose. He's now not in DRS again.
He'll be, yeah. Well, what's he got back in just in time? He was using his ERS there to get back in touch, but he'd be kicking himself if he's not, because he could slingshot his way onto the two of them.
Okay, so getting a pen, that could be costly. He's not too far at the points gate side, to be fair. Tonight, that could be a damaging thing for him, as Giro is hunting down J. Law, who's got no battery at all. Giro preserving his battery and very nearly hitting the Mercedes of J. Law. Look at the train from little one downwards, though, from 6th down to 11th. It is mental, absolutely mental stuff. As DC and little one get very close.
DC's got a good exit. He's got a much better exit. He's got the RS pin. He's going to go down the inside. Little one wisely lets him through there. I think he knew going wheel to wheel into that corner would never end well. And I think he's going to try and get him back into turn 1. Little one, he's got DRS.
Look at Hobbsy! Hobbsy for a double move! Oh, he backed out. It's a great battle.
Yeah, DC's done well there. He's placed his car in the perfect position.
I tell you what, J-Lo could be in trouble here. No battery at all. He only got 70%. Gotta fancy the Aston Martin over the Mercedes and the Williams for now, but it's a great 3-horse race here to bring us home with what's been a thrilling Chinese Grand Prix, to be fair. You know, I doubted China as a race. We've not been here very often, only the second ever time we've come to this track, but to be fair, it's thrown up a brilliant race, and there is Rodden's fastest lap. We mentioned that's what he's going for, and he has got it, which takes the point away from anybody else. And I think the first time this season the point will not go to a driver, because he's not in the top 10. There's still time for a safety car yet, though. Which I kind of want to see, I'm not going to lie, on the softs. That'd be incredible.
Nathan has cut 4 tenths in a matter of a sector. Right in the mix, the gap in front of Jerome is exactly the same as the gap behind him, so the front 3 are now separated by just over a second, and Nathan is now in the DRS, so this could be, this front 3, I feel like this will be the front 3, but I mean, in what order?
Yellow flag!
No idea.
Matt Wilson, there's 2 yellow flags, because there's an Alpha Tauri as well. Pio and Matt Wilson both gone. No safety car, luckily. But I agree with the top 3. They're flying. I do fancy your own still with the battery in comparison to the other. So this could be the race leader for your own. Is the straight long enough? Maybe not. But I still fancy your own here myself, personally. I just wonder, though, with that big train of 6, 7 cars, there's always that chance of an incident, isn't it? And there's still time for a safety car over the next lap or so. You never know.
Yeah. It's got to happen, hasn't it? It's got to happen in the next lap.
Look at this second gap from the top 3. And we questioned AJ, didn't we, on the hard. He's doing a good job still in 5th.
He is. I mean, if he'd have pitted, he'd have been down outside the top 10. So, you know, to keep all of the points, he's made the right decision, to be fair. We thought he might struggle, but I guess tyre wear around here is that bad. he's been able to keep them hards in a good place, and he's going to get good points.
Matt Wilson having to pit his also off, so maybe try and take the fastest lap off Riordan. Of course, he won't get points M2, but bit of a competition between Riordan and Matt Wilson. Fastest lap, maybe, who knows? KXI edging closer to points for AlphaTauri, but that penalty may cost him as the top three in a great battle. JLo could be in trouble and could potentially get double DRS down the straight because Nathan's a lot closer than what he was this time last lap. And JLo could come from first to third here potentially.
8 tenths between the top three. Jerome's going to get the slingshot. Double dose of slipstream, and look how close they are going into the hairpin.
It's a three-odds battle. Look how close they are. It's ridiculous. 3 of them battling for the win. There's only 4 laps to go. And is it going to be Mercedes, Aston Martin, or Williams' day in China? It could genuinely be any of them. It is that close. It's a ridiculous sprint and a battle for the win at the end. Imagine all 3 tickets you're out on Vipers wins. Could you imagine? Who knows what's going to happen? But J. Lawler under pressure from not 1 but 2 very quick cars behind him. It is literally anyone's racing between Mercedes, Aston Martin and Williams. All their teammates not in the points, by the way. AFL out the race for Williams, Riordan out the points, and so is Mark Wilson. So it's scoring points for the teams here as well. So it's going to be a 3.5 lap fight between all 3 of them for this win. Who's your favourite? I still think Riordan with his battery.
You know what? Nathan is so close.
He's waiting.
He could get both of them on the straight. He could.
He's even closer than last lap. Jay Lawler will be panicking that his first place could go down to third. He won't even get runner up. He might go from first to third. What a battle for the win this is. And here we go again. Will the lead change? Will position change? They're close.
Jerome's almost got a full battery.
Oh, they're close now.
Nathan's up to 38% to be fair.
They're a lot closer this time. And J. Law could go from first to third here. He could genuinely go from first to third. Nathan's flying down the straight. J. Law goes from first to third, but going to come back. And the 3 of them are wheel to wheel. This is incredible. This contact between all 3. J. Law's got the place back from Nathan into second. This is unreal. A 3-horse fight to the end here. And at the moment, your own gets back in front, but J. Law going to go from third to first. He is! You're all going to come back, but here comes Nathan on your own now, maybe. You cannot take your eyes off this battle. 3 laps to go. Jay Lawler, in the space of 30 seconds, has gone from first to third, back to first. This is incredible.
Fair play to him. He's not giving up this win. He's not giving up this win.
You'll go a long way to see an end to a race like this. You normally see 2 people fighting for the win. To see 3 of them so close and a genuine chance that any of the 3 could win this race, you will go a long way to see a better end to a race than this whole season. We've had some amazing moments in the 5 races, but this has got to top it so far. And there's still big question marks over which one of these 3 will win this race. It could go either way between the Mercedes, the Aston Martin and the Williams. You think Nathan's been third for the majority of it, but you just feel he's waiting for his time to pounce. He got that P2 for a little bit and then he then lost out again. But once again, he's reeled them both in here. And again, this is an interesting moment on the straight. Nathan has lost a little bit of time there, though, on the grass, and that could cost him. But to be fair, he's got a better exit there, and he'll get DRS again, but I don't think he'll be able to get into the mix this time around. Will Jerome get back energy low for the race lead? Jerome's flying down the straight. Will the lead change again?
It's going to have to be a dive. He's going to have to send it.
The wheel to wheel, Jerome's going to fight it to the death. Nathan's back in the mix as well now. All of a sudden, this is only, I don't want this to end. 2 laps sprint, and there's still 3 of them that could win this race. I apologise to the other drivers that we're not watching, but you can't take your eyes off this battle. It's as simple as that. Is J-Lo going to try and come back at you know in turn 1? And don't worry about Nathan though, he's still in the mix. He's still got an outside chance of this win.
It could be a case of just timing. Who gets the DRS?
Oh, J-Lo touches the grass! And has get. Oh my god. I mean, do not rule out Nathan by any means.
To be fair, Hedge, if it was me, I wouldn't want to be leading on that final lap. I'd want someone else to be leading going into that back straight, and then you've got to run at them. If you're in the lead and you're seeing 2 cars come at you from behind, I mean, I think this is when Jerome might start really utilising his battery, because like I say, he's not daft, and he won't want to have them 2 on his back going down that back straight, and he's pulled 8 tenths out, so this could be when Jerome just puts his foot down.
There's a brilliant train in the middle for points. I can only apologise that we're not showing it, but you cannot take your eyes off this top 3 battle.
a lap and a half to go, and it's still question mark. Oh, and Nathan with a bit of wheel spin, that could be the big moment for him. That could cost him the win here.
J. Lawler's out with DRS.
And all of a sudden, has this 3-horse race for a win gone down to a 1-horse race? Has Jerome done the job and saved his battery when it mattered? Nathan's got 0% battery. J-Lo's got 3% battery. Rowan in the 30s. It's going to suit him down to the ground here, Rowan. He's got to be the favourite now, surely.
Yeah, they have to get into. I mean, J. Lawler's utilising all of his ERS or what he can, but Jerome's just got the battery.
Nathan's got the ERS on J. Lawler here to close the gap on him again. And J. Lawler's P2 could be in doubt. There's another DRS. Again, at the end of the lap, you think Jerome's potentially, by any mistakes now, got this win in the bag. But J. Lawler's P2 could be in serious doubt here from the Williams and Nathan.
Yeah, I mean, Jerome, fair play to Jerome. He waited for his moment, he got it, and then he's used his battery to just absolutely take off. But these two have got the same battery. J. Lawler and Nathan are pretty much on exactly the same battery. And Nathan, I think, is in the prime position. He can use his battery and DRS down the back, so J. Lawler could finish third.
There's a great battle for sixth as well between Hobbsy, DC and Little One. They're literally wheel to wheel as well, so we'll try and keep an eye on that as this race comes on. I don't want it to end. There's battles everywhere. It's been an amazing race, this.
The Alpha Tauris are going at it as well. Pio's just got the switch back on KXR.
Oh, the penalty for J. Lawler right in the depth! Can you believe that? He's gifted Nathan the P2. Can you believe it? You know he's off the track! You know he's off the track! And Nathan might win this race! Nathan might win this race! Nathan could win the race! He could win the race! Nathan could win the race if he gets DRS! He could win the race! JR threw it away! Nathan could be the favourite here all of a sudden! This is incredible! Nathan could win the race! Nathan could win the race!
He's going to have to send it!
He's going to send it! He wins the race! There's no way!
He's got it!
On your own spot and Nathan's the race leader! JR on the grass! Oh my god, Nathan! Out of absolutely nowhere wins the Chinese Grand Prix. That is absolutely unbelievable. You will never, ever see a race end like that ever again in your life. That is the moment of the season by a mile. There's still 9 rounds to go, but you will not top that. That is a moment. I'm going to say it now. It's a big statement. That's the biggest moment in the history of this league. That is unbelievable. Wow.
Oh my word.
Oh my god.
It's incredible. Jerome had done it, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Did he lock up or what? I mean...
Oh, wow.
So what? There's going to be a move at the back. Pio's going to try and get his teammate. Pio's going to try and get KXR going into the hairpin as well.
No team orders at AlphaTauri, is there? Pio has got the job. He's done it.
What a move.
Oh my god. Greg, wow, what have I just witnessed? That is unbelievable. Who doubted the Chinese Grand Prix? Who doubted the Chinese Grand Prix? Matt Wilson retires right at the death. I mean, that is just...
What a send!
Oh my god. You're talking with 3 corners to go, Nathan in third, guaranteed. J. Lawler gets a penalty. He would have won the race, J. Lawler. Gets a penalty. What happened to you, Rowan? Oh...
you know, I hope he can. I hope he can maybe show us a clip of what happened, because I don't know if he locked up or he just went deep into a corner where you wouldn't expect it. I mean,
one thing's for sure. Hats off to all 3 of them for that incredible 5 or 6 lap battle. That was the. I'm going to say it now. Moment of the season. It's done. It is done. There's 9 rounds to go. I have no doubt over them 9 rounds we'll see a lot of drama, but you will not see anything like that again. That is just. It is unbelievable. You're Owen from 48 seconds. It's an incredible job. I mean, but I've got to give Nathan driver of the day. I have to, because that was just, it was mental. I mean, obviously your own 48 second is the big shout, but surely Nathan gets driver of the day there, Matt. Surely.
You know what? I'm going to give it to him because he drove an unbelievable first stint, and he was unlucky with the safety car that he lost. What would have been, he would have come back out in the lead, and Jerome would have had to have gained 12 seconds. So for Nathan to lose out on the safety car, drop to I think 4th, and then come back to win the race at the end with that send around the outside as well. He overtook 2 cars on the back straight to win. That's driver of the day, undoubtedly. What a race! Oh,
who doubts the Chinese Grand Prix, eh?
Oh my God.
I mean, we've been to Belgium, we said race of the season. We've been to Britain, we said race of the season. We've been to Singapore.
and said race of the season. Portugal had it all last week. I mean, week in, week out, it genuinely seems to keep exceeding expectations. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the Chinese Grand Prix. I didn't expect much from it tonight, but I never in a million years thought I'd see a 3 yards battle for the win with 1 corner to go. And Nathan, who was third with about 3 corners to go, wins the Grand Prix. I mean, wow. I know that for those that are used to with us at 11:30 on a Sunday night, I hope that you've been rewarded for that, because that was just incredible. You will not see a better moment than that in any league. I don't care what anyone says. I know it's my league, but I do not care what anybody says. You will not see a better end to race than that in any league. You won't. That is just unreal. I cannot wait to watch that back.
Do you want me to try? Because I was able to invite them last week. And
we've got to get them in, haven't we? We've got to get them in after that. It's just... I'll let you interview him because my voice is gone. I can't speak.
I can't believe it. What a send.
And for those that have stuck in the stream and stuck by us, you've got your reward for that incredible ending. I mean, that is just... They're all 3 of them are winners, to be fair, for that. Wow. I mean... You know, the J-Lo penalty, throwing it away, and then Giroud, I don't know what happened to Giroud, I don't know what happened. It's just... and I apologise to the rest of the grid for not showing hardly any of their battles, because there were some great battles between the likes of Little One, DC, Mazzles, Hobbsy, but I'm sure they'll understand and they'll agree with us that we could not take our eyes off that. That was just, that's a once-in-a-season situation that happens. To be fair, I don't think we've done this in 5 seasons, and I genuinely don't think we've ever had that before, where 3 drivers have battled for the win at the end of the race. That is a once in an F1 game type of scenario. It doesn't happen very often, or you won't see that ever again. It was just... I'm speechless. I mean, I cannot wait to watch the rest of that, the end of that race back, the last lap of that race, because it was just lap of the season by a mile. Any words, Max? I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I'm speechless. I'm trying to invite Nathan, but it says his settings. There's something with his settings that won't allow him to be invited.
Well, it's back-to-back driver day performances for Alex Dobson in round 1 and 2. We said that doesn't happen very often. It's back-to-back driver day performances for Nathan now. So, I mean,
maybe we. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you want to add them through Discord. Just because I can't. Actually, he's going to add me on PSN, Nathan. I wonder if that's why. But we will get him in. Hopefully, Jerome will join us as well. Jay Lawler has just joined the chat as well. Wow.
Good evening, Jay. So, I mean, try and talk us through that from your perspective, because we're a bit speechless after that, to be honest. If you could, that'd be great. Yeah, we're having a few difficulties. No, we're favourites, aren't we? Not wrong with that. No, we're struggling ourselves.
So I can.
No, you're the first one here. We can't hear you, Jake. Anyway, you need to turn your audio sharing on. Yeah, no rush. You're right.
I've just invited Nathan anyway, so he'll get one of them. Hopefully, their voice sharing's on.
Party settings. Somewhere in there. It's definitely in the party settings somewhere. I don't know where. I'll have a look myself. Well, is Nathan here? I think we've got Nathan as well. Oh, he needs to do it as well. Okay, no worries. No worries. I don't think Johan's joining us tonight.
No, he said he was going to bed.
Oh, fair enough.
I think he's probably in shock by whatever happened on that last lap. Oh my
yeah, it was incredible. Are we...
Alright, wait, J Lil, you're trying to get the party settings thing where you can share your voice. So you go
kick him out, haven't you? Kick him out.
You go to the 3 dots. So you know on the little party screen on the PS5 when you press the middle button. Go to the 3 white dots and go to settings. Then share your voice. Allow.
How many innings do you had, Jake? Come on, what are you playing at here?
Wait, why? Wait, how are you on share media?
What is he doing, this lad?
That's not.
Oh, he's here every week, you know, ready for an interview, you know what I mean? How many years have you raced in this league?
Go. So on the little pop-up of the party, you go to 3 white dots on the right, you click on settings, and then it's share your voice.
Comedy end to the race. Oh, good.
Yeah, I've got it.
Right, apologies to the stream that wants to go to bed at 11:30, you know, had to wait 2 minutes, but we'll start with Jake. I mean, talk us through that last lap, because from our point of view it was incredible, but I want to know what it was like from your point of view.
Well, it's not often that I get to race up there with Nathan and Jerome, even in Cone, so to say I was sweating, I literally need to change my t-shirt. It's honestly, it's so bad. Absolutely sweating me back out. But on that last lap, I got the penalty. I think literally the lap before on the final corner. So I knew there was not much point in me pushing, but I knew that obviously if I could get into Jerome's DRS somehow, then I'd pull Nathan back in. So I was just pushing still, and then obviously Jerome went off track, and going down to the end of the long straight, I sort of like pulled to the side and just let them two go at it, because I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to win regardless. So
Did you know you won off a penalty, like when you're on your corner cut? Did you know you was at that risk of getting a penalty?
No, I thought I only had one
warning. See, if you knew that, you'd obviously been more cautious, wouldn't you, and not got the penalty, so that's a bit of a...
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But
I can't believe you come third after all that, because you was leading for so long. I mean, it's just mental.
To be fair, the only reason I was leading is because I was burning my battery.
Yeah, well, we noticed that. We noticed that your own safeties, and you two burnt a lot of your battery. We'll come on to Nathan, who was third with 2 corners to go. Ended up winning the race, which is, I mean, I've said it on commentary moment of the season already. It's a big statement, but I don't think we'll get better than that. I mean, how did you win? Where's that come from? Because, I mean, what happened? Did any of you see what happened to your own, by the way, when he cut the grass? Because we didn't know what happened.
He missed his braking zone, I think.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah. So Nathan, go on, talk to us. Third to first in 2 corners.
I don't even know. I was just going through the emotions, thinking, I've bottled this race, because I had the lead by like 8 seconds on your own. Then that safety car came out, which screwed me.
Yeah, it did. It did.
When the safety car came in, I was stuck behind J. Luke, and he cost me a lot of time. I think after he spun, I was 2 seconds or something, 2.5 seconds behind Jake and Yaron. So I was like, okay, I just need to just absolutely push and just try and catch up. Didn't think I'd catch up, but surprised myself, and then just that last time.
That dive at the end, that dive was unreal.
Half, wasn't it? Right around the outside.
Yeah, I was really surprised Yaron defended the inside. Like, I would have expected him to stay on the left, because Jake I don't think had DRS on Yaron, so it was going to be difficult for him to overtake Yaron. But yeah, I'm really surprised he left me the gap to do it.
Risky move, but it paid off.
Yeah, definitely.
Could have gone wrong, couldn't it? Could have gone wrong.
The space was there. I was like, I'm going to absolutely send it, because I've just thrown off ABS. I can brake later and just
You may as well.
make the corner.
I think I'm right in saying that's your first ever win, that, in this league. Am I right in saying?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Mate, welcome. It's a big list. It's a big list. Your brother's on it, but you weren't on it. But at least you're on it now. I mean, you deserved it after that. I mean, obviously, you started pole. You got very unlucky. I think you mentioned it, Matt, didn't you? The safety car got very unlucky with that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was a perfect race up to that point. I mean, obviously, getting into the top 10 on mediums, one stopping it, had a clean start, was still in the fight, and then obviously the safety car screwed you over. And I thought that's so unlucky, because you'd driven the perfect weekend pretty much up to that point, and then to get it back, I think it was you were the deserved winner. But to get it back on the final penultimate corner was just.
There's a few voice cracks on stream when you watch it back, by the way.
The last 4 laps were ridiculous, weren't they? Oh,
I did an awful voice crack that I wanted to die when I did it, and I realised I did it, and I was like, I've got to carry on now. But you'll see when you watch it back.
We all worked together, in fairness, to give you guys a moment.
It was so clean though, because it could have been a big collision between all 3 of you, but it was so clean throughout. I mean, it was about 6 laps, I think. Of just constant. I mean, there was one point when Jake went from first to third, then he was back to first again, and it was like. I mean, I said, I don't think we'll get anything like that again. That C3 drivers battling, that was mental.
That moment, I can't remember which lap it was. It was 24 or 25. I overtook both of them the same corner. Then I just lost traction and I absolutely screwed myself and lost both positions. At that point, after when that happened, I was like, yeah, I've just thrown away the win here.
Well, I actually said that. I said on commentary that I think Nathan's thrown his chance of winning here, and then, well, what happened? Anything can happen, I guess. Finally, very quickly, I'll ask you both. I'll start with you, Jay. Imola next week. How are we confident with that? Oh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign, isn't it? It's a great sign, that.
I'm not a massive fan of it.
To be fair, you said you weren't a fan of China and you did well tonight.
I was surprised, to be fair.
I wasn't a fan of China.
No, I think everyone.
I did say
China.
that. I did say that.
Yeah, I don't like China either.
Race of the season, China though so far by a mile. So you're not a fan of Imola?
Didn't expect it.
No, I'm not a fan of Miller.
Nathan.
Poly pace is good, but race pace would be terrible.
Let's hope it rains then.
To be fair.
Let's hope it rains. We do some rain, aren't we, Matt? We do some rain.
We don't want it to
Mom,
rain.
I'm sick of racing in the rain. I'd like to watch a race in the rain.
Yeah, let's have some. It's a commentary. You want rain, don't you? But no, thank you both for joining us. I mean, I'm going to say it now. Moment of the season. I don't think we'll top that. I mean, watching next week on the 4-horse battle in the last lap through. I don't know, but yeah, thank you both for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for commentating.
Pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for your win.
Cheers,
Thank you for your win. That made no sense. Well done for your win. Should I say, Nathan? Thank you for your dive that made me have a voice break. It's something I want to delete. I need to go back on the YouTube and delete that clip. But hopefully don't get into the wrong hands. It's on Twitter tomorrow, that clip. But we'll delete it. We'll sort it out. It's their fault to see. But no, thank you to you both. And thank you to Matt. Thank you to you as always.
Cheers, mate. I think to be fair, my voice went ridiculously high a number of times, so I think you're not the only one who...
I think we mentioned this in the past, haven't we? It's like a workout this every week.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's good, though.
I don't go to the gym.
For a Sunday night, it's good.
I don't like the gym. So this is my gym. Definitely burn a few calories. I mean, honestly, I know we do say it every week about how good the races have been. I know it's a bit biased from my point of view, as it's my league, but like, the quality seems to be upping week in, week out. And we said Belgium was going to be hard to top. Then we went to Britain, and that was hard to top, and Singapore. And I genuinely, I'm going to say it now, I don't think we'll top that into the race all season. There's still 9 rounds to go, and of course, there's no doubt over these next 9 rounds we're going to see chaos. But surely we can't get a better ending to a race than that. That was just... I don't think we'll ever seen a race ending like that, ever.
Here's hoping we do. Here's hoping we do.
I want to see a 20-car pile-up next week, and the old DNF apart from Pio. And he wins the race. I want to see Pio on the podium this season. And you know what, Matt? What we've seen so far, it will happen, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah, put the house on it. It's going to happen.
But we all called China. We all slated China, and you know what? Fair play to China. I don't think that'll be the last time we see the Chinese Grand Prix on this calendar, because it's proven to us tonight that it can be an amazing race. I mean, only the second time we've been to China, and it's race of the season already for me. It's going to take a lot of beating, of course. There's a chance it will get topped, but it's going to take a lot to get topped now, in my personal opinion. Well done to Nathan, by the way. I don't think we told Nathan he got Driver of the Day there, so well done to Nathan. Back-to-back Driver of the Day awards. Next week it's Imola, Matt, for us. We've already been to Italy once this season in the pre-season race. We're going back.
Yeah.
For Imola. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a tough track, isn't it? It's very tight, very high speed, so wheel-to-wheel action could cause some incidents. I think it's going to be another absolute battle. And if it rains around Imola, then God.
It's a good chance of rain, very good chance of rain. From my personal experience in Imola as well, as you know, Matt, we had a brilliant race in Imola in the cone race last year. Light safety car, it was like a 10-car sprint for the win, wasn't it? In the end, I ended up on the podium that night.
Yeah. I lost the podium because of the final corner penalty.
There's still 2 people watching, by the way, so I don't know who you are. Whether one of them's you, Matt, but I don't know.
There was 3, one of them's me.
Right, so there's still one person somewhere watching. Whoever you are, tell me you are. Championship to you, mate. Whoever you are, you're championship winner. Because you sat here at 18 minutes to 12 on a Sunday night listening to me and Matt still ramble on. So whoever you are, please let me know before I end the stream. I want to know who it is, because you're a legend. I don't know who it is, but fair play. Fair play. And then we are going to wrap it up now. It's been a very long night. Matt, as always, mate, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's been another fantastic night. Thank you very much for having me.
And whoever you are in the stream, whoever the mystery viewer is, they've not told me who it is, so whoever you are, give yourself a pat on the back. It's like a teacher not give yourself a pat on the back. Oh, it's Mazzles! Mazzles, mate!
You
know what?
Like
I'm going to give Mazzles a round of applause there. Legend. What a legend, Mazzles.
Actually, no. We've gone up to 3. We've gone up to 3 viewers. So
right, no, I'm not having that. You can't just come back now and get credit. No. Imagine that one viewer's Mazzles and he's just come back and got the credit. He wasn't even in.
I know. I think it might be Mrs. Hedge.
Maybe. That'd be Greg. Who knows? Anyway, but we'll end it there. We will see you. Well, depends on the Manchester derby, to be honest with you, how I feel after that. But I will be here.
I'll
be here. Whether I'm in tears or whether I'm in absolute ecstasy, we will see, of course. But, have a great week. Me and Matt are both racing tomorrow night in Combe, so if you want to watch us go on track rather than listen to us ramble on, that might be something you want to do. We're in Britain tomorrow night. It's a sprint race as well, so make sure you tune into the Combe boys tomorrow night if you want to watch me and Matt race. If not, I'm commentating on Thursday night. If you want to keep listening, I know I've got a great voice, if you want to keep listening to me, I'm commentating on Thursday night in Combe. But if not, I don't blame you, you probably need a week off after hearing me and Matt ramble on there. We will see you next Sunday night. Be here, 9:30 start, round number 6 of season 5, back in Italy for our second ever visit to Imola. Surely it can't be as good as China, but you know what? There's a good chance it will be after what we've seen so far this season. Matt, thank you very much, mate. Thank you to everyone that's joined us on the stream, mate. As always, for all your love and support. Thank you to the top 3 for giving us the most incredible end to this race. It's been an absolute pleasure. Have a great week. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. We'll see you next Sunday night for Imola. All the best. Good night.